Yeah, baby. Wonder if all my bad decisions get accounted in the algorithms. No statistician could dissuade me from my bigger vision. I know my occupation's quite an unlikely place in this world to occupy and talk about upon a daily basis. Our information's predetermined by some biased business. We all in sermon to silicon that push out lovely neighbors. I'm done with paper chasing, think I'm on to bigger banquets. This that full circle, new wave, energy on a Tuesday. Turn a blue day to a bright hue, yellow with a smooth A in hair. Extra fruit, hey, the brand. You can't move me. The music is man. It's a con job, but it's grand. I'm blessed with a great hand amongst many that stand. Yeah, it took some hard work. Blind luck play a huge role. They say that it don't when they're feeding you fool's gold. If I know one thing, the truth's home. Even if it's a tough thing to swallow, an even harder thing to hold and truly know without a doubt while on the globe. Even though that seems inherent, it ain't always so apparent. Dangle carrot, you ain't always gonna get it. But don't worry, it's a pretty February in a year with more to carry and more days is yet to come. Under the sun, taking the ferry to the city where the moment's extra pretty, like the people, like the idea that I keep inside my brain that isn't equal to the real world. All that stress ain't saving me, fear though. I swear to God I'm trying. They pushing the demons down my esophagus, screaming the easy life, what I want always. Praise made up holidays, tell me that love is the answer just to boost this economy. Buy more sell now, but I ain't following. I ain't a hollow man, I'm full of them fall winds. Take it all with a tall grin, and if you feel it, do it with me, and just sing what the song says. Take it all for what it is. It ain't all so big. So big, so big, so big. Take it all for what it is. It ain't all so big.
Driving around in California, looking for something to make me stay. Round and round forever, searching for something that could never get replaced. Don't need you to save me, but I just really need to be saved. I'm just so sick of waiting for any luck to come my way, yeah.
Because it is time, y'all. It is time to let you all know who the Bachelorette will be for season 1. So everyone in the chat, are y'all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here she is. Let's bring her up now. Hello, Bella.
Hey, Bella. Oh, it's Bella.
Bella. All right, guys. Bella will be the Bachelorette for the first season of I Choose You. So listen, Bella, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. Not too much, but more so about what you're looking for. We're going to get these men excited and let them find out how they fit into your idea of a bachelor.
Okay, really quickly, I don't know if you can hear me, but I gotta run. I'm at a wedding, guys. But thank you, security boss. I'm so excited to start this new show, to pilot this new show. I'm so honored that she would choose me. And I'm looking for a really great guy. He has to be very hardworking, really good character, integrity, and just all around great guy. So. Yeah, that's it. I gotta run. So.
Can he work at Food Line?
Bella, don't answer that. Don't answer those. Bye. Bye.
Just 3 minutes. Just for the soft skills. That's it.
All right, so guys, y'all see it. Bella is the Bachelorette for the first season. So everybody knows. See, Mr. Logic, I felt like you had already peeped my game over there, but I'm glad you had already peeped my game over there, but I'm glad you didn't.
I had no idea.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Listen, I hope y'all enjoyed the new commercial. We're moving right along. Bella is the new bachelorette. And thank y'all for being here. I am so sorry, guys. I am late. We have been stuck in traffic, and I think it was an accident, but it's all good. I apologize to y'all. And I'm here now. So listen, we're going to catch up. We try to bring us forward. I want to bring my co-hosts up. Y'all know this is Monday night. Black Man Unfiltered, come on up. I'm going to say hello to my people in the chat and make sure that everybody's doing well. Tamika, how are you? Still, Eugene, still, how are you? Mr. C, listen, I am glad you guys are here. Jenny, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Let's see who we got here. Mel, what's up, Mel? How are you? Stephen Day, thank you so much for being here. Mandrill, I hope you're doing well. Big, let me see the Big Cap. Hello, how you doing? It's good to see you here. Patrice, you too. Listen, if I missed you out, please forgive me because we're doing some catch up and we're gonna get started on the show tonight. But I appreciate you all standing by for my tardiness. But I'm glad you're here, and we're gonna get the show started. We're gonna get Black Man settled because also y'all on top of the King, the unpredictable husky. How you doing? I'm doing well. On top of the accident and traffic and all that crazy, they came in and had some struggle streaming going on too. But now I think we're going to breathe, settle down, and we're going to get the show started. But I definitely want to hear about what y'all think about I Choose You, where we're going with it. On Wednesday, we're going to have a show outline. It's going to be myself and Aaron O. We're going to be outlining more details about the show. Miss Bravo Sheila, hello, how are you? We're going to be outlining more about the show. We're going to be giving details on how you can actually become a contestant. So you want to be there. It's going to be 9:30 Eastern time on Wednesday. So make sure you tune in on Wednesday night so you can hear all these things, and it's going to be nice, y'all. It's going to be funny. It's going to be good. It's going to be outstanding. Y'all going to enjoy it, and everybody gets to participate. So that's the best part about it. But let me say hello to my co-host. How you doing, Black Man? Can't hear you.
There we go. How are you doing? It was good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, traffic holds security boss and Mr. Boss back. We are here. We are live.
It was crazy. It didn't even make any sense. But anyway, none at all. You panic, and then you get here, then you're doing something wrong, pushing the wrong button, then it's wrong here too. So, yeah. But we all in order. Everybody's breathing out, and we're here. We're here with SB Nation, and everybody. I hope everyone is doing well. But again, it is Monday night, so we got to get it started. So listen, I want to talk to you a little bit about this craziness that's going on in this here world of ours. I don't even know what I think about it. Sometimes I look at it, and what I'm talking about is Will Smith hitting that young man, hitting Chris Rock.
Yep.
It didn't really look real, but either way, it didn't make any sense. Hello, Miss Denise. Denise, how are you? Oh, you looking forward to it? I am too. I can't wait to get started. But tune in on Wednesday night so you can get all your details. And have Mr. Boss stop walking in front of my camera, killing my angles. Y'all saw that, right? It's killing my angles. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, Black Man, what you think about that?
I think that Chris Rock had a very good. He was very patient. I think that that comes with years of practice. I think right now, at the age of 38, if a man came and slapped me, I would have redecorated the entire Oscar building.
It'd have been like that pastor in church. Remember how the pastor in church spit on the man?
Yep.
I don't know how they do it. Big Bad Boy, how are you? I don't know how they do that. You know,
and there was so much taken. I think Will Smith needs to be reprimanded some type of way. He took so much away from that Oscars, so much away from people that made history.
Right.
Mr. Packard was the first African-American male ever in Oscars history to direct an entire Oscar show. And the night that man did it, Will Smith jumped on stage and slapped another black man in the face.
So listen,
I mean,
the comment that was made, I don't know if something else went on somewhere else. Aaron O said it's real. Yeah, it looked really real.
Right.
But the comment that was made, or what I heard prior to the actual assault.
Mhm.
That wasn't something that you assault somebody for.
It's
Is
something,
it?
yeah,
Is
it's
it?
something. It's something deeper.
Yeah, is something else going on that we don't know about?
It
Maybe.
is. It is.
Okay.
There's no way. Will's been in the game too long. To he knows it. Will has been on the receiving end of it, and he's been the one that's given it as well. Will has been around for a long. Will's 50 some years old, guys. If you don't know,
Yeah, he is.
and
Yeah.
he's been around for a long time, so he knows how this game goes. I just think he's so. We need to have a show on this. He's so buried in the toxicity that his wife brings him, that he just react, because if you go back and watch it, when he tells the joke, you see Will laughing at the joke.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I didn't, but even when he went up stage, even the demeanor wasn't one of pissed off. I didn't see it unless I'm like, wait a minute, am I missing something? That's why I was like, let me look again. But you know what? And Chris wasn't either. Chris didn't have the pissed off look either.
Yeah, Chris held it together.
I'm like, wait a minute. Can I see some anger? Can I see some? Chris was so cool. It was almost like, like he didn't even believe it happened.
Right. And for the rest of your life, your children gonna go online or be teased at the fact that you got slapped in front of millions of people on live TV. And that's the thing. And the mistake Will made, because I believe this. If that was a white comedian, he would not have done it.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Imagine if it was Jerry Seinfeld or Adam Sandler or somebody. Come on now.
That comment that was made about her being the next G.I. Jane movie, is that really negative though? Is that
no? Because G.I. Jane was a hero. She was the first female that went through the Marine. The Navy SEALs. Yeah,
Navy SEALs.
Yeah. So how would that be an insult?
I don't know. I don't know. It's something we're missing. We probably will never get it. But someone said he did apologize to Chris Rock. That's very important. He didn't do it live, did he? Did he do it live? Because I haven't heard that part.
My point exactly. And my thing is this: Will Smith has had a lot of situations where he was across seas in the UK or something, and a reporter actually kissed him in the mouth, and he didn't have the same actions for that guy.
Whoa, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
You go watch that video. The guy walked up to him, just kissed him in the mouth, and Will kind of like restrained him a little bit, but it wasn't hit him. And then on top of that,
right.
He
started yelling from the he put on his black card, didn't he? You see him out there acting like a foolish. I was like, what in the world did he do that? Listen, I don't know. We're gonna hear more about this probably, but they should definitely do something. They need to ban him from coming to the Oscars, because he was off. Have you ever seen a marriage where every time something said to the wife, the husband would look to the wife to see what to do? No. Did he do that?
What? When he first told the joke,
I gotta go back.
When he first told the joke, Will said,
and then he looked over at her.
He looked over at her, and she said, and next thing you know, Will's up on stage.
Okay, listen, let's do this super chat. Listen, Hakeem knows how to get us started. Hakeem, thank you. I need you in SB Nation. He says, thank you again for your $10 super chat. But he says, I gotta show support for one of my favorite YouTube dynamic duos, SB and Black Man. Oh, let me do it right. BMU. Thank you, Hakeem.
Hakeem, my guy.
Hakeem gets it started for us.
Give me mine. Going up, need no decline.
Money line.
I'ma run it every time. Give me mine. Going up, need no decline.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Hakeem. That was nice. That was very nice. Very good. But listen,
he deserved to get whooped though. I think that, because like I said, if I were on the stage and he slapped me like that, and as soon as he slapped him, he turned around
and walked off. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, that's
big mistake, baby. Today would have been the story would have been a little bit longer today if it were me. When he turned his back, I would have ate him up from the end of that stage all the way back over to his wife. I would have whooped him to his wife. Oh yeah.
So you know what? That goes kind of into what we're doing today, far as living single within your marriage. And why? Because when you say hello Ine, how are you? A senior, hello, you caught us live. Listen, I appreciate your comment today. That was very nice. Definitely be cheering around. So Will would probably get banned from the Oscars. I mean, if he can't control himself no better than that, he
Right.
needs to. Hello, Miss Ellen. Good to see you guys.
But the thing is, all these women out here, oh my God, Will Smith, that's how it looks to protect a black woman. Y'all should take notes. Oh yeah, take notes, and he'll be in jail, and you'll be with the next one.
Wait a minute. I was getting ready to say you want to see your man get locked up because listen, a regular dude going straight to jail.
Yep, you're going right to jail. So let your man protect you and beat up everybody that have something to say to you and see what happens.
Listen, before they even knew what he was doing, they would have had some handcuffs on him. I don't know.
Exactly.
No, we can't do that. That was some Will and his trickery got up on that stage. But listen, they would have even got Kanye if he tried it. They've already banned Kanye.
And my thing is this: you banned Kanye from the Oscars for performing, but then Will Smith come and act a damn fool. You banned Kanye.
They didn't know. Listen, they didn't know Will was gonna do that though.
I need to write this down. I need to write this down. I forgot about Kanye. They banned Kanye because they said we scared. We don't know how he gonna act, and we want the Oscars to stay as professional as possible.
I thought they banned him because he threatened that fella.
Who? Kanye?
Yeah, I thought they said he threatened someone. That's why
they say he was unstable. So
well, guess what? Is him and is Kanye and Will good friends?
Probably.
He acted out for his buddy did.
Yeah.
But listen, this kind of goes to what we're going to talk about tonight because one thing that I kind of look at this two ways, and sometimes I'm looking at Will and Jada and I'm saying I'm rooting for them, but at other times I'm thinking she might have went too far. But communication is the key, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the part I'm missing is why are you doing it in front of all these people? And did Will agree to this?
Right.
You know, I get wanting to talk about it. And I y'all know that Will doing his thing, right? You know, he not stuck up in the house. Mr. Bryant, hello, Mel, hello. We ain't signing.
Well, I see you, Doc. I'm gonna get you.
How y'all doing tonight? Thank y'all for being here. You know, Will is doing his thing, right?
Right.
So just keep that in mind. He's not just sitting at home, just chilling. They say he's simping, but he's doing his own thing, y'all.
Right.
Really
and just think about it. You know, all this stuff that you done been through, and you haven't reacted to any of it. Your wife has sex with your son's best friend.
Mm-hmm. But wait a minute, wouldn't they declaring to have some type of open marriage when that happened?
Yeah. Well, hell, the way he reacted at that red table talk, it don't seem like he was too fond of it. He said,
listen, it only works when it's between me and you. When you start telling everybody else in the world, then has a dip because now everybody else gets to judge what I do,
right,
or what we do, and I don't want everybody judging what we do. I just want us to do it,
right.
So, would you say that Jada is crying out? Is she looking for something? Is she not happy? I'm not saying not happy. Yeah, is she not happy?
Jada, she said a lot. She said a lot. She said you slept with your son's best friend. And then you come and say Will Smith's sex is boring. Then you come and say you will never love another man like you love Tupac. I mean, you've been just stepping on this man's throat for years, and so, and all of a sudden he dun da da da. I mean, I dude. I mean, your wife sat on national TV and said your sex is trash, and then she says she'll never love anybody like she loved Tupac, and she's married to you. Like, what do you?
They both hurting, but I don't think he knew how much she was damaged until that day.
Right.
Listen, somebody says open marriage is toxic. You right about that? Probably shouldn't be that way. Marriage, union, then open, all in the same sentence. Probably doesn't work for me. So we talking about it today because you know where I got this from yesterday. You know what? Over there, Sir Hale, he be making me think. Have my mind just going. I'm like, what is
right? Y'all subscribe. Sir Hale speaks.
Go ahead, go over there and subscribe. Also, Black Man, we're real close to our 1,000, guys. If you have not subscribed to his channel, Black Man Unfiltered, go there now and subscribe. We got to get him to that 1,000. Money, Life, and Business. Hello, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Will Smith is getting destroyed by that woman. Yeah.
I don't know what she got. Everybody she done been with. I don't know if she got. Don't
even ask about. Don't ask.
Yeah, because last night I said I think she got. I mean, I thought it was the Heaven's Gate, but now it's the Valley of the Shadow of Death. I think that it's something that she does to these men that make them go crazy. I don't know.
Okay, well, who was that? She was written too. They talked about her a lot in the Bible. Who was that?
No. Who was it? Jezebel.
There you go. So it ain't hard. It ain't hard to figure out who she was.
Jizzy.
Who she may be. How
Yeah.
about that?
Jizzy.
Or a sister.
And you know what? Last night you missed a good one. Last night, security boss.
Where? What happened?
JB was on Anton's late night last night. JB came in that thing and preached a sermon. Everybody joined the church. He said that black men need to stop acting like Will Smith is very stupid. He said that black men need to grow up. And if you're condoning the fact that another black man should hop on stage and slap a man because of words, that is just stupid. It is stupid.
Are you saying some people think that Will acted correctly?
What? You missed that live last night? Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh, this is how we protect our women. And this is not over no words. Listen, you're gonna go to jail for 3 years, 2 years, whatever month, 18 months, whatever they give you, all because somebody said something, right? I've been there before.
I didn't know that happened. So Vaughn says JB was on point. Wait a minute. So I didn't know men were saying that Will did the right thing. I thought everybody was against what he did.
On that panel last night, they said Will did the right thing, and men should take up for their wives no matter what the situation is. And when I was younger, yes, I had situations when I was in my 20s where you couldn't say nothing to me or say nothing to my girl, or bust your head open. But as you get older, that's what I'm saying. If you're the same person at 38 that you was at 28, you wasted 10 years of your life. You have to be able to evolve to become more of something greater than yourself. And so Will Smith is 50. That's not, listen, he's not little Fresh Prince no more. He's almost 60 years old. He's 6 years away from it.
So listen, wait a minute. There are a decent amount of men siding with Will. Okay, so listen, let me say this. That means Chris Rock had to have touched her butt or done something somewhere else. You know, I don't think that was something just that comment that I heard about the comparison to G.I. Jane, that had to be something more than that. Because that right there, even in her protection, he could have waited till the man got off stage, told him I need to talk to you or whatever. He didn't have to hit him. Right.
And imagine, and I say this, imagine if they had somebody like an ex-athlete or something that said that. I'll give it to you like this. What if it was Mike Tyson? And Mike Tyson said, "Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Oscars. I just want to say, Will Smith, it's so good to see you and Zeta. Oh, I can't wait to see G.I. Jane too." You think Will would have got there and slapped Mike? No. And you know why? Because Mike would have destroyed him in front of millions of people. Mike would have beat the hell out of him.
That is taking us out of here if we think that was okay to do. Because listen, one time we were going to a concert. This is many, many years ago. We were taking my daughter to a concert. And, you know, we don't do rap, but kids, I wasn't going to let her go by herself. I mean, you know, we needed to be escorts. So we thought we were going to do it. We tried it. We went. First thing happened was in the parking lot. I had some little heels on, and first thing happened is my little heel came off. I said, okay, there you go right there. That's an omen. I need to turn around and go on back. But I did. We replaced it, got it all fixed, went on, right? In there trying to get into the establishment, these little dudes, my husband standing right there with me and my daughter, standing right there. Oh, they still just acting out, horse calling and just acting crazy. But we had gone too far to where we couldn't turn around and go back. That way we end up having to go in to get out. So my husband said, sir, you know, I need you to move on. You know, this is my wife. This is my daughter. I don't need you. Move on. He started with the yapping. My husband told the police, come here, escort me out of here. So the police came and took us through had to go in the building to get out of the building because we had gone too far to turn around and go back. And we just left. And I felt like I was very protected. He knew my husband was there. My husband did not leave my side, but you know, who knew what the little boy had? And my husband didn't have his gun at the time. So what kind of fight was that going to be? It wasn't going to be a good one. And what were we fighting for? I was with my husband. Right. So we just left. But that's how you handle stuff. Right. I think that, you know, because we had it out last night, you know, on the platform, Brittany B's and the comments and Aaron O as well. I just, when it comes to Aaron O was saying that a person, and hopefully he'll come up later, him and Brittany, but, you know, he was saying, Aaron O was saying that people have emotions and people are still human, but you have to get to the situation where you'll protect your family, but you'll protect your family in the right situations, not the wrong situations. Yeah. Right? And so it's no good for me if he don't come home with me. You know what I mean? And now if Chris Rock would have came down off stage
and walked over to Jada and said, rubbed her head and said, G.I. Jane, then you have a situation. He
Right.
touched your wife. But
Right.
he's on stage doing something that he's been doing for years. And if you look at the entire Oscars last night, every comedian that took the stage ripped somebody in the audience. Right before Will and Jada got talked about, there was a white couple sitting right, I can't think of the man's name, but he's a great actor. But he was sitting right beside Jada and Will, and him and his wife was there. And Chris Rock ripped both of them, and they sat there laughing. I mean, slapping their knees laughing. And the man didn't take anything from it. He was basically telling the man that because the guy and his wife were making history. Both of them were up for the same award.
Oh, wow. Oh, that was good. Yeah.
And so he was like, yeah, I bet you thinking, oh, Lord, please let Will win, because I don't want to have to go home with this woman tonight or something to that effect about the award. And they were just slapping me laughing, and then he moves to Will and Will gets violent.
Wow. That's wild. So last night on the late night, so would you say the people that were siding with Will were younger men mostly? Or we don't know that though.
I don't know.
Yeah. Gosh. Well, we better smarten up, because that kind of behavior will take you straight to prison. But you know what? I can believe that, because I have someone that you recall when Sway came up on my platform that day when we were talking about him and Kevin Samuels, and there were some men that was recommending that
that's it right there, Jenny. He was talking about Penelope Cruz and her husband. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah. There was some men that were recommending that Sway I guess go back and forth with Kevin Samuels with disrespect to prove that he was a man. So there were some people coming against me too. Some men that were saying, she don't know how to be no man. She should have been telling him not to say anything, to relax and all of that. She needs to tell him, she need to let him, I guess, fight with Kevin Samuels over YouTube. That sounds like a smart thing to do, don't it?
And my son right now, he's 14. And my son has a problem with people saying anything to him negative. And so we had a few situations where if somebody said something to him, he finna go rock-a-bye baby. He trying to put you to sleep. And I told my son, I said, listen, son, listen. As long as they don't put their hands on you, let them talk. I said, because if you fight everybody that says something about you, son, you're going to be real tired. You're going to be fighting for the rest of your life. I said, but if they put their hands on you, I want you to do your best to teach them a lesson to not to put hands on you again. But if they don't, and they're just running their mouth, what can they do?
See, is it something about that other side that that young men are not relating to, or that some men don't get? There's a whole nother side of this, that they take your life. You can go to prison.
Right. And Ricky Smiley said today, the comedian Ricky Smiley said on his show today, he said in California, they don't check those stars when they come in. He said, what if Chris Rock was packing? Well, and Will hit him and he did pop. And then what? On live TV, then what?
Guess what though? What if he'd have hit Chris too hard and Chris would have fell down and hit his head and died? Anything can happen when you're doing stuff like that. You know what?
But it's crazy, man.
They need to have some red table talk about that. That's all it is.
Oh, that's what I said last night. Everybody bust out laughing. I said, listen, guys, give it 6 or 7 months. And what's going to happen is she's going to have Chris Rock come on the show.
No. She'd have her husband come on the show. No, not Chris. Her husband need to explain himself, not Chris. Chris ain't gonna come to the show.
It's gonna blow up. Yeah.
Not Chris. He can't go over there.
Yeah.
He can't be trusted over there. You never know. Because somebody say something wrong at the red table, then what?
Yeah, right. And there's so much, like I said again, there was so much taken away from so many people last night by those actions. Will Packard, I'm telling you, man, how do you think he feels when they give a black person the opportunity to be the first black male to direct and produce the Oscars completely, right? And then you celebrating that. Then you're celebrating the fact that you had the first, the first Afro-Latino woman win the Best Actress. 60 years. It's been 60 years since that person of color won that award. She won last night. You got Regina King in there. You got all these different black superior people in there going to be rewarded and make history, and you got this dumb fool jumping on stage slapping this man in front of everybody. And
that's our representation right there.
Yep, and that's what they're going to see, and that's what they're going to run with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It definitely are. Somebody else was just saying that in the chat too, this was one time where we were highly represented, and that's what he did. it's, you know what?
And there was no
I don't know.
accountability. Women always say,
Somebody need to, it's enough professional actresses and actors that they need to call him to the African American, that they can call him to the table and see exactly what was going on in his mind and figure it out, because that was crazy to go up there and slap that man after that G.I. Jane comment. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Because they had people that had video footage when they went on commercial. Denzel Washington got up, Tyler Perry got up. They went over to Will Smith and pulled him completely off to the side and talked with him. Right?
Okay.
That was during commercial. But the thing that I don't understand in these spaces, I think sometimes we get amnesia, because we have so many women that say, hold men accountable. Men don't hold men accountable. Right? And so last night when Will did what he did, and he got on stage and they gave him the award after he did it. So they gave him Best Actor award after that. And after they gave him the award, he had a standing ovation from women and men.
Yeah, see, we're a little off. So it's almost like it was forgotten.
Oh yeah, they was clapping for him, and when he was giving his speech, he gave a little tear, and everybody was crying with him, and he was like, I feel like I'm the crazy dad that just have to protect my family and all this other stuff, and I'm like, okay.
He was a true actor. But listen, I'm with Big Bad Bull now. You know, that's why I don't watch TV. We're getting ready to move on, because you know what? That needs to continue. We need to have some apologies to the African American community, to the Oscars, to Will Packard, to Beyonce, all those people that were receiving awards, and to Chris. I know they said he did give one to Chris, but you know, and he didn't even file no charges, so he definitely need to go and make it all right. So listen, we're gonna go ahead and talk about this. I was getting ready to talk about this a moment ago, and I got this from Sir Hale last night. And I realized that, you know, sometimes when I'm sitting on that panel over there, I'm thinking to myself, you know, this is me now. I had to go through marriage, and me thinking about those things I went through is how I come up with what I come up with, right? So I'm thinking that, wow, we make it so difficult to be married. I mean, every step of the way, we are making it difficult. Is it because we don't go and say, listen, I'm getting married. I want to be married. Let me take marriage seriously. Let me really figure out what marriage is. It is a union. Exactly. You know, it's a real union. And I don't think that many people actually take it serious or even go back and say the word for what it really, really means. You know, you're right, Miss Brittany B. It is. It's very interesting. So last night in Black Man, you had that little what can we call it? What can we call that little
bars?
Those bars you put together at the end those were on point. But listen, everything is so difficult, and I was like, dang, how could it be I didn't understand it. And so me, I'm saying to myself, how did I make this? How did I get over these growing pains? Because I'm here now. When I was going through it, I had some difficult times too, but I figured it out. You know, I figured out what would make it work for me.
Right.
And what made it work for me is that I wanted to be married, and I didn't want to be miserable. So I choose to be a happy person, or a person that has some amount of joy. Right. And I wasn't resistant. I'm willing. I was willing because I wanted to be married. So I needed to be willing to be that way.
Exactly.
So I have no idea how people go into marriage and they bring these. I do know how it happens, but you go into marriage, you're a single person, then you get married. No, it may not change the next day, but somewhere along the way, it needs to overcome you that you're now married and you're a part of a union. That's a real thing, y'all. It's not, but guess what? The more you resist that union, the harder your marriage will be, and the more miserable you will be. And that could be a reason why people get divorced so much, or because there's these irreconcilable differences. Is just what we don't agree. Right. So why do we do this? How does this happen?
For those who missed Sir Hill Super Sunday yesterday,
yes,
the bars that she's speaking about is, I can experience all your class and get all your ass, but when we go to the bank with your money, you pass. And I think that that rings a lot of bells because when we get married, I can get you in the lingerie. I mean, that's I can see how classy you are and how professional you are. But when it comes to your money, you don't mess with my money. My money is my money. Your money.
Slow down. Let's go for that first line. You said I can get you in all lingerie, right?
Yeah.
So I'm willing to give you my whole body, every part of it. You can figure. You can just whatever you want to do. You can have it, right? And then what was the second one?
The second one is the first one is I can enjoy all your class. I mean your classiness. The second one is I can have all your ass, but when it comes to your money, you pass. I think that you can give me your body, your temple is means nothing to you more than money. Your money is more important than your body. I can just do whatever I want with your body. When it comes to your money, I can't share the money.
We're missing something. And listen, ladies, I had to let y'all know that's mostly us. We be tripping about the money.
Yep.
We do. Now, I learned a long time ago. Now, this is because we didn't have any money coming into our just regular money. We worked coming into our marriage. So I learned early from someone else. Now, this is me now telling you about it, but a pastor told me and my husband, why don't you put your money in one pot? And it was like a light bulb came on. It was like, what? Okay, that makes sense. I didn't resist it because we didn't have a whole lot, but I knew when I put mine in with his, I would have more.
Try it today.
I know. So that's kind of what people get hung up on because I'm always saying, put your money in one pot. So for me, I think that was the first noticeable thing that I did to become one or in my union of being married was that, but why wouldn't I do it though?
Right.
That was my husband. I was planning on being married. So that brings us to our topic tonight. And listen, guys, I want y'all to definitely have your part in it because this is important. Because if you want to be married and you want to have a successful marriage, this is just me talking. This is me talking. You can do, if your marriage is successful and you have no issues, then continue to do what you do. But if you are having problems, you need to hear what I'm saying to you. I hear what Black men and I are saying, because I don't see how you can bring a single head, a single mindset into a marriage and maintain that single mindset and not be willing to work at that union that you've agreed to do. And Black men, you kept saying this, you agreed to be married.
Yeah. It was not something you were forced into.
Well, listen, somebody did say in the chat that sometimes we marry out of obligation, but let's just talk about that. Even if you married out of obligation, you did it. Why not choose to be good at it? Or why not choose to make it work and make it good? Why live in it and be miserable?
Right.
Because you can still choose.
Yeah. And the topic of the show rings true. Being single while in marriage. If I'm with you and what marriage means, let me try here. What marriage means is you're bringing two people together. If you're religious, not religious, if you're a Christian person, the Bible speaks of marriage as being a unity. And he said that where there's unity, there's strength. Watch this. When you come together and you come together as one, where there's unity, there's strength. So you're stronger together. Everything that you and your husband do, or your wife and the wife and the husband do, you're stronger together, right? He says that in scripture, and you become one. So if you become one, what's the problem with bringing everything together and make it better? Even the Proverbs 31, even in that scripture, it states about the man going out to work and bringing the money home. The wife goes out and sees a field and she buys it. She does things on the side to make money, and she brings that money to the household. Marriage is so thrown away right now that we're not saying men are leaders no more. Now we got women saying, no, it's a partnership. We partners. He's no leader.
Not even, I'm not stopping you. I'm just agreeing with you. But listen, not even that. How about, because I know that sometimes now we have older people. We were younger when we decided to get married, but now we have older people. Because I saw that we ain't signed and said we need 3 account, his, hers, and joint.
For what?
Listen, hold on. Even in that though, Let me tell you why. If that's working and everybody's good with that, then that's okay because they still on that one accord. Let me tell you when it don't work. My girl, not a girlfriend of mine, but my neighbor told me she's no longer married. Her and her husband have divorced. But she told me one day that her and her husband went grocery shopping. And it brought something to mind because I think I've seen this a couple of times in the grocery store. But when they got to the cashier booth, ready to get the groceries, rung up and everything, he stood back and she stood back. And they both was waiting on each other to pull money out of their pocket to pay for the groceries. And I felt so sorry for her telling me this story. And I'm saying, I said, what? And people live like that. They wait at the grocery store, or they'll say, Henry, you gonna give me $50 on the groceries? That's not working. That's not how your home should be operated. Now, if you good with it, ladies, okay, I'm good with you. But I'm telling you, it can be so much better if you put it all in one pot with your husband and go buy the groceries. You ain't got to worry about Henry giving you 20 on the groceries. You ain't got to be standing at the end of the cashier booth and then she'll say, "Can I give me a little bit more?" Then he got to go in his pot to get a little bit more. Have you not seen this at the grocery store? Because I have.
Right.
I
Oh
have.
yeah. Who buying this? Whose turn is it? Who
Yeah.
bought last time?
Yeah. That's
You know?
not living, black man.
That's not. And I think that a lot of people they say that. My thing is this. You know what it is? This is what I think. Sometimes when we want to separate things from the people that we say we want to be one with, sometimes we don't want people to know what we're spending money on, or we don't want people to know our spending habits. Because I guarantee you this right here in my old white boy voice here, I guarantee you if you go and check your wife or your husband's bank account and y'all got separate accounts, there are some things in there he's spending money on that you may not appreciate.
Well, you know what? That could be the case, but that's a conversation. Because listen, I want to have the absolute best marriage I can have because I only have one and I want to be married forever. So I got to work out everything that causes us stress to get rid of it so we can have that long-term relationship. And it may mean that I got to sacrifice, or it may mean that my husband has to sacrifice. But we got to come in here. We got to be like-minded on one accord, and you can't be that with two single mindsets. But I'm always hearing things that direct us back to these single-minded mindsets. And I get it. People, they live in their dysfunction and they say it's good. And that's okay. But I'm telling you, you need to think about these things because somewhere along the way, when you have separation like that, the little enemy he gets in there and he starts getting in your head.
The devil's in the details.
Charles said last night, it was something so funny. He said, she can't be living better than me. And I'm like, wait a minute, who we talking about? He was talking about his wife. I said, your wife? What? How can your wife live better than you and y'all live in the same house and you her husband?
Yep.
Jenny says, one bowl, one go. Listen, it is, Jenny, but we make this thing so difficult. And I'm just always just questioning, why do we do this?
Yeah. You know what? I was closing with this guy. His wife passed away. And they had the same situation. She had her account, her money separate from his. And this man, she had life insurance, all this stuff, everything. This man didn't even know the passwords to her laptop. Didn't know what company she had a life insurance with. Didn't know she had other accounts. Don't know where the money at. Don't know how to find the money. Nothing. And it died with her. Now he got to do investigations. Oh my God, this was my wife. She had all this money. She had this 401k. She had this. She had this. She had this. Right. And now you don't know. You don't even know where to start because she lived a whole completely complete different life from you.
Completely. Isn't that something? Now, listen, you do what you want to do. I mean, and if you're happy with it, okay. But I'm saying to you, a marriage is being on one accord with your spouse. And I'm telling you, sharing in the things that need to be, life, money, all the affairs that go into being married or in this world, sharing that with another person that you're on one accord with is the best thing that can happen to you.
And the best thing, and also the best thing is about having everything together is that the unity. You're showing unity. There's no reason why if Why get? I don't understand it. Why get married? Because in this day and time, people are choosing not to get married anyway. So why get married if when you get married, you're going to sit at the altar and look this woman or this man in the face and say, I'm going to love you whether rich or poor. They need to start, just add to the vows. I'm going to love you rich or for poor, but do you know why? And have the husband or wife say, why? Because I'm going to have my money and you're going to have yours.
Yeah, they need to leave it alone. I agree. And I've never said that before because I want everybody to be married that wants to be married. But if you don't have your mindset on becoming one with somebody and being on one accord, I say don't do it. Red Lipstick Vibe says when courting, when should you start to disclose everything like money, assets? When courting, when should you just talk about it? But listen, you first have to get the idea of what that person thinks about being married. Y'all need to talk about, if you're courting and you both are in the mindset of being married and you moving towards that, you need to find out what he thinks marriage is about and what you think marriage is about. That's a conversation that needs to be had because it is just not, it's not a given anymore. Right. You know, for me, it was kind of a given. I knew it would be difficult along the way and I knew I had to be willing, but so many people are so resistant. You can't be resistant and selfish in a marriage. You got to be sacrificial and giving and willing. And it definitely pays off. And I think that's what men are saying, but they haven't said it that way. You know, I think men are saying this is what we want. That's submission actually. Yeah. But it goes both ways. And I don't think people see it that way. You benefit from being one with your spouse. It's actual benefit. And I think it was someone a moment ago said it's hard to defend Hink. I think it was. He said it's hard to defend marriage in 2022. It is very hard. It is very hard because everybody wants to be such individuals. But that's really not true because you're doing everything. Like Black Man said, you give your body. You give all your class. You'll have children.
Bring people into the world.
Bring little people in here. Half on babies. But then when it comes to money, you be like, nah. Or when it comes to buying groceries, you standing there with your hand in your pocket and you sitting there waiting for him to give you $20 on the grocery in the grocery store.
And you know what? That individualism mindset, imagine if both of you had great jobs and you had separate accounts and all of a sudden her company went belly up or they did a mass layoff and she don't have no more money and she's paying 50% of the bills and you paying 50. What happens then? Oh, hubby, I need you to step up and pay 100. Because I saw this on a YouTube channel somewhere where the man told her, no, you gotta go get a loan or something. I need to have these bills paid because you wanted to do different accounts. I agreed to do different accounts. That's cool. But now that you don't have a job, I still need half of this energy bill. I need half of this water. I need half. You need to go find it. I'm not paying 100%.
So listen, Danny G says most men don't benefit in marriage. Danny, you need to talk to my husband because he would tell you different. I take care of my man.
I bet you that. I bet you one thing, Danny.
I take care of my husband. I take care of my husband. I do. I do for him things that he didn't do prior to him being a single man. A married man gets better treatment than a single man does. He really does. So I don't know about that, Danny. You usually agree, but you off right there. But that's okay. I love the fact that you're here. Anyway, if it's done right and you find a good woman that appreciates you, she shows that to you, married men. And it's a great benefit. He uses me as an asset, y'all. He does. And I appreciate it. I see it now. I see it crystal clear. And I'm trying so hard to share it with other women so they can see what it can be. It's not losing yourself. Now, we also made a comment last night about losing yourself. And of course, that bugged me to death. And when I'm bugged by something, I'm in communion with the Father. And I'm like, show me something, tell me something, because I'm not getting it. You know, when you get married, you're not losing yourself. You're evolving, changing, becoming a different person. But I can tell you who is losing themselves, them single women. Single women are losing themselves because now they have to take on the role as mother and father. When I say that, they can't be no man, no, they can't grow men up. But guess what? When it comes to changing them light bulbs, they got to do it. When it comes to everything around the house, they have to do it. Now they are losing themselves because there are no more feminine qualities in all that junk that they have to do.
Right. And I heard a man say, if you want to know a single woman, just video call her or call on her phone and hear her smoke detector going off. That lets you know there's no man in the household.
You wrong for that. I see you see where you're going. You went all the way left. I need you to come all the way back. I ain't shooting fire. We ain't shooting no fire because I know what you're talking about. Anyway, that's what I'm talking about, though. That is losing yourself. A woman loses herself when she is a single woman. Now, did y'all just hear me? Because I need to go back and talk to Sir Hale and let him know when a woman loses herself. I need to tell Charles, if y'all listening, a woman loses herself when she's a single woman raising kids because she's no longer being able to be a feminine woman and be in her glory. She's now having to, like I said, change smoke detectors, get gas in her car, wash her car. She got to do everything.
Exactly.
And that's not what a woman's role is.
Yep.
She lost herself.
Yep.
She did. Yeah. Wow. So that's a married woman that's adjusting to being a single woman that's adjusting to being married is not losing herself. There are definitely some growing pains in there because you're giving up a life where I used to tell my husband all the time. My husband one of the ones like to eat. He's want to eat, the big guy. So he used to like to eat. And I'd be like, look, I get me a Tony's pizza. We put no food budget in here because I was a single woman. I had a single woman mindset. I didn't have to eat. But I had to make a whole $100 a week budget for food. Who has that kind of money at
Exactly.
25? That's what I'm talking about. That's a growing pain. That's a being on one accord with your husband, growing and getting it and figuring it out. But just think if I'm a single mom and I had to remain in that posture and I had to do everything.
Exactly.
Now I lost myself. I'm no longer that woman. I'm no longer that lady. And before long, I'm be going crazy, talking crazy, saying crazy things because
going off. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. That's when you lose yourself.
Yep. You lose yourself when you make it, when you, it's amazing to me that, and you will make a decision in 20 minutes that could alter your life for the next 20 years. You will go in, you're so hot and ready to go and so ready for somebody to insert the grounds of your body that you're willing to give up the rest of your life. Because when that baby comes and he decides, I don't want to be a father, then you have to become something much more. You have to be double that. You got to get up in the morning. You got to get up earlier. There's no getting up and saying, girl, where we going tonight? No, it's girl, I'll see y'all later. Now you got to go get diapers. Now you got to get formula. Now you got to go find if your mama going to keep the baby for you while you at work. Now you got to go see if, about working. Now on the weekends, you got to take the baby to the doctor. Baby got to get their shots. Baby got to get, you're just taking on a whole nother life just because you feeling some type of way in the moment. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's losing yourself. Emmanuel says, being married, you lose yourself too. Now, Emmanuel, I think I know what you're talking about, but for me, I'm not saying that I'm losing myself doing that. I'm evolving into a married woman, and my husband is evolving to being a married man. We were single people, now we're married, and we have to get on one accord. I'm not saying that's losing myself because I'm still myself. I still like the perfume, I still like the heels, I still like to look a certain way. That didn't go away. I just now have to put that into the confines of my marriage and figure out how I can do what I need to do, but still be a wife, because before I might have wore a short skirt. I can't do no short skirt now, but the short skirt was the single woman. It's not the married woman.
Exactly.
So just because I can't wear the short skirt anymore, did I just lose myself? No,
it's evolution.
Exactly. I did not lose myself. So
yeah, evolution is making a mistake and that's the thing. So, and again, I love everybody, but we got to be honest here. I can see a single mom having one kid. Like you said, Security Bar, when you told your story, you had your daughter.
Right.
After you had your daughter, your life changed.
Yes.
Your mindset changed. Right. When you got married, you looked at the vows and you said, man, this when I got my daughter, I'm glad I didn't marry the other guy, but I'm glad I'm marrying Mr. Boss. And this is going to be amazing because I'm going to take this serious. But it comes to this for me. You go out and have one baby. But Security Boss, what if what if you would have done what we see the women doing today? You have one baby, and then you meet another guy, and he tell you cute, and then you pregnant again. Then one guy buy you a Chinese dinner, and you pregnant again. Then one guy take you on a little trip on the weekend while his wife out of town with her girlfriends, and you pregnant again. and now you got 4 babies, 4 baby daddies. I mean, come on, I can see one time. But when you got 4, 5 kids, 6 kids, you don't understand what it is. It is horrible on Christmas, and you're waiting at the door for 5 different men to show up for your babies.
Stop that. I didn't even think about that.
Oh,
But guess what? That woman lost herself.
oh Lord have mercy.
She's no longer, she's no longer anymore. She's now a single mother of 5 children. Femininity is gone. She's got to do everything. We lucky that we can even have a conversation with her. Can you imagine the stress that she must feel? It's just unreal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you just imagine, if everybody's watching right now, especially just women that are looking to be married. Close your eyes and imagine having 5 kids by 5 different men, and you're depending on them to show up for you. They're not committed to you. They're not married to you, but you're waiting. You're working a job. You're trying to make ends meet. And then all of a sudden, when the birthdays come and the Christmas come, and the kids are resenting you because they can't get anything, but they really don't understand that mama can only making enough money to pay just the bills, and she's depending on 5 men to just come and uphold her and say, "Listen, I got the birthday this year. I got the toys. I got the Christmas. I got this. I got the trips this year," and she's still waiting in the wings, and nobody's showing up.
So let me read this comment though. It's from Happy Princess. I like this comment. It says single parenting is glamorized. It is. Women are oppressing their emotions. Just think about that. They are using meds to numb the pain. It's difficult raising babies with my husband. I couldn't imagine doing it alone. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying. You know what? You took me to a different place when you said they're numbing the pain with meds, though. I never thought about that, but I can't imagine. But that's what I'm saying. How would marriage not be the way to go? How could you not want to take on a partner to help you with however many kids you have? If you didn't have any, if you had one, whatever the situation would be. If a man would take on 5 kids, okay, but how could you not? Listen, we got to defend the marriage because that's what gives us peace.
Yeah.
That's what gives us structure. The nuclear family is what we need to have, but we constantly want to. Okay, so listen, even with that scenario, I'm not going to give her 5 kids, black man. Let's go back to myself, 1 kid. How am I going to take that single mother mindset into my marriage and be like, to this man that married me, right? Now I'm going to tell him, you can't say nothing to my child.
Right.
Why would I do that? Why would I do that? He took us in. Now he took us in. He took us in. He decided to marry me despite of, I was his second wife. He may be whatever. We were good for each other, whatever the situation may be. But he made that decision. So now I'm gonna go in resistant, and then have it maybe not worked for me to go back to being a single mom again. My child's father had already gone off to the military, living his military life, and gone on and got married too. So what was I going to be? Just a single mom? No, I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah, and like E-Man said, why do black men keep making this narrative? And I want to address that. He said that in the comments because, and when it comes to men, I was on the Nathan Daly show last week, and this is what I said then, and I'm gonna say it now, and this is what I stick by: that men. Your penis is a corporation. And with your penis being a corporation, the only way for your company to go bankrupt or to go belly up is when you invest your penis and to invest in the wrong company. That's the only way for that to happen. So if you're built to be a corporation, you got to make good investments. You can't invest into the wrong companies or you'll lose everything. So that goes for the men too. Don't be out here spreading your sperm in all these trash cans and then get mad when you start to smell it. You got to be willing and able to say, you know what? This girl looked good to me tonight, but how will she look 3 months from now when her belly poking out and she cussing me out and she put me on child support? How's she going to look 10 months from now? How's she going to look 2 years from now when I try to pick my kid up? Does she have the mindset that she'll share custody with me? Because I don't want to marry her. I just wanted to hit her. You men have to think too. We got to stop letting this magnetic pool of coochie take over your mind. You got to find a way out. And these men out here brag, oh man, I hit 2 or 3. But when they get pregnant, you're dealing with it. The average home right now, 3 kids, single mom. It's 3 kids to every single mom right now. If you look up the numbers. So I mean, we got to stop shooting up the club too. It's simple. I don't know. Oh Lord have mercy. I don't know. I don't know. They look good to you now, but damn. I mean, because half the women right now, and even right now, all these women that are mannequin challenged, and when I say mannequin challenged, I mean the women that put on these 12-foot long weaves and eyelashes and 12 layers of makeup, and they looking like they're looking like Prince at a birthday party, and then you going out with them and you having sex with them, and they come home and they take all that stuff off, and you went to bed with Janet Jackson, you roll over in the morning and see Freddie Jackson, and now she done got pregnant, and now you got to, not only that you got to deal with her ugly self, now you got to deal with her ugly self having your ugly baby, and it getting ugly for you along the lines. I don't understand it. I just don't understand how we can't see through it. You know what, Mr. Boss, I'm gonna shut up. Dearly beloved.
Are you silly? Listen,
Dearly beloved.
Listen, guys. Listen. Anyone in the chat, Genesis. We're talking about being resistant within marriage. You've been married, and we've also said, and I think it was before you came in, if your situation is working for you, there would be nothing that you need to do. But if you have a situation that you and your husband are standing at the end of the cashier line, and he looking for you, you looking for him to put in a 20. And you need to put in a 20 to buy them groceries. For me, that doesn't, that's not a good situation for a marriage. That's stressful. We could have worked this out where he gives you if he needs to give you a food budget or what have you, if the money is not in one pot, whatever the situation is, whatever area in your marriage that there is a little bit of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. What would it be? A little bit of stress, I guess. Right. Those things need to be worked out if you can get on one accord.
Right. And you remember the young lady I told you about, we talked about a few weeks ago, that was talking about black men weren't this and weren't that. And we had a whole show and she didn't show up. Remember?
Oh, yeah. I remember.
So I just saw a video of her with a man. And this man is living a polyamorous life, right? He wants to start it. And he told her, she was just complaining, men ain't this, and I'm so here, I'm a single mom, and my baby daddy ain't this, and my baby daddy ain't that, and you know, he said, shh, be quiet, because the girl is very attractive, beautiful girl. Oh, she's gorgeous.
So he told her to be quiet.
He said, shh. And she said, he said, listen, you are a very attractive woman. He said, I understand that, and he said these words to her. I'm paraphrasing here. He said, I understand that you're very hurt by the things that have gone on in your life. I can see the pain in your face. I can feel the pain from what you've gone through. He said, but this is what I'm willing to do for you because I see potential in you. He said, this is what I want to do. Me and my wife want to live. I have discussed with my wife by bringing a second woman into our house, and we want to have a second wife. What I will do is I want to change your life. My wife does not work now. I make enough money to take care of you and her, our 2 kids, and your son. Not only will I give you my money, not only will I give you my time, I will give your son the father that he never had. He said, now, when do you want to join our family? He said, I'm giving you a solution to your problems. She said, why would you say? He said, see, that's my problem right there. You complain about the black man, but the black man give you a solution, you still complaining. He said, I'm telling you, I'll bring you on right now. You fine, you sexy, you smart, you educated, you got your bachelor's degree, you got your master's degree. Come on over here and be with me. I got enough money. You don't have to work. You and my wife can sit at home and talk about it and watch TV together. I'm going to take care of both of you financially, and I'm going to raise your son like he's my own. What's the problem now?
She didn't say nothing. She had nothing.
You could hear a rat pissing on the cotton ball.
But she never did say it's because you a black man.
My point exactly.
Wow.
See? I mean,
wow. So listen, we're going to drop the link in the chat because I want to hear what everyone has to say, because my thing with this is, why are we being so resistant to being married? If you're going to be married, you take the vows and you've said yes and you agree to it. I think the next job is to be sacrificial and willing to do it and choose to be happy. Choose to be enjoyed. Don't choose to have a stressful relationship because everything doesn't go your way. Right. Because remember, the whole main goal is being on one accord with that person. And we make it hard. The marriage is going to be marriage, whether we choose to be with it or to be within it or not. Right. We make it hard. When we get to stressing about, what we do with our money or what he did with his money. Listen, if my husband told me right now I want to go out and buy a boat and he had enough money to do it, I'd be like, go and buy that boat, buddy. Go ahead.
Right. And then also,
that Tesla gonna be in the yard. You okay with that too, Andre? And he said, yeah,
see?
okay, well, good.
Right.
It works.
And, speaking of that sidebar, you just said something. All right.
What?
Did you see the video where they tested the Tesla against the Hellcat?
Well, the Tesla probably is faster because it's an electric car, but
Tesla ate that Hellcat up.
Because the Hellcat is real heavy. It's mean.
Yeah.
I like it. Oh, I know. Oh, have you ever been in one before? Have you ever felt it? Oh, it's so unforgiving. You have to have the red key to understand.
Right.
I love that car. Listen. I just recommend anybody just go sit in one day and turn it on. That's all you do.
Do you like that better than the Vet?
Yes.
Wow.
I do. The Hellcat will lead the Vet in the wind. You know that, don't you? But the Vet it's smaller and it goes faster on the startup. But you give me some distance, the Hellcat will totally
dismember it.
Yeah. But I like the Corvette too, though. But it's something about that Hellcat is just different.
Yeah, that American muscle.
Different. Yeah, it's just different. All by itself. Yeah. So it really shouldn't be on the road, though. It really shouldn't be available to people.
Yeah,
it needs to be somewhere private for certain people because it can really hurt. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this one story. We're gonna get off of that because I could talk about a Hellcat all day.
I know it.
Listen, I went to this car show and it was Hellcat City, but not many people have wide bodies. I have wide body, right? So mine's a little different. So everybody wants to race you. Everybody wants to race your Hellcat wide body. Everybody wants to do it. So when I tell you on the way back from this car show, this fella was trying to race. Black man, he hit the tree so hard. Hit the tree so hard. The car bounced off the tree. The whole engine fell out the car.
Oh.
He hit the tree so hard. Let me tell you something. I didn't know that. I never even thought about it, but trees don't move.
Oh, no.
Trees don't move at all. He hit the tree. The whole front end came out. He was so out of it, but he jumped out that car and ran because the police was on him.
Man,
because they were already around because all these Hellcats was there. You get a Hellcat, the police gonna be there. Okay. Right. So he hit that tree trying to race that car, and he just didn't know how powerful. All you gotta do is hit it the wrong way at the wrong time. It's just gonna go. It's gonna get airborne on you. And
You just said a word that'll preach right there on Sunday morning.
What?
You said all you got to do is hit the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So when you hit the wrong thing, you'll be all over the place.
Yeah, he went airborne. He went airborne and went airborne straight into a tree. I mean, directly into the tree.
Now take that analogy and put it in our community. Men, if you go out there and you're moving too fast, you're gonna hit something. You hit the wrong thing, you're gonna be everywhere.
You're gonna be everywhere. Yeah, he was. And he jumped out that car and ran. The police was looking for him. When we left him, the police was looking for him. And it was a new one too. It was like the car still had the new plate on it and everything, but he just didn't know. Young people do not need that car. Man, I was like, wow. But I'm glad he jumped out and ran away because that means it was okay. But yeah.
It's good to see my brothers, man. E-man, what's up, my guy?
Hello.
Andrea, what's up, my guy?
I said, Black Man Unfiltered. I was up here like, my man is on point today. He's hitting these nuggets, trip after trip. And I was like, man, Black Man is on it. He said, the 5 baby mamas. I said, oh, he done lost me with this 5 baby mamas.
Hey, man, you're not going to understand everything. But let me speak to everybody before we get started. Mandrell, how are you? How you doing, Mandrell?
I am well. How are you, security boss?
I'm doing wonderful. It's a Monday.
Are you feeling better? Because he was sick yesterday. You feeling better, Mandrell?
Well, the healing process is, I got no stamina left, man. I'm tired. Super, super tired, man.
I hope you feel better, man.
It's really rare that I get sick. And if you hear me say out loud, I'm sick, it's usually about 10 times worse than it actually is, that I'm letting off. It runs in the family. My grandparents like that. My parents like that. Uncles. We'll be dying on our deathbed. No, I'm fine. Let me get up and I got to go to work. Oh, when
Wow.
we should be
Well,
taking a
Mandrill,
rest.
I don't want to listen. I'm gonna say this, so security boss can move on. I want you to take care of yourself, okay? Because we
Yeah, I'll
don't
be
want
fine.
you. We don't want you laid up in no casket. Because you know what? They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to duct tape you to the casket. So when they go down the steps, they don't want you to slide down to the bottom.
I heard that.
Uh,
That I felt.
we don't want you passing away on this platform tonight. So
No,
keep
I won't. I
sir,
mean,
okay, relax. Just relax.
after a good night's sleep tonight, I'll be fine tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Mel, how are you?
How you doing?
Doing good.
Hey,
Dr. Penderson, I can't see you. What you doing?
Yeah, I'm in a hotel. I got bad lighting.
I was
Oh,
born
that's
in the
right. You are out of town. How you doing though?
All is
Hakeem,
good.
okay.
Okay, good. So listen, guys. E-Man, we're gonna let you go first. You hear what we're talking about. You've been married, what, 3 years now?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming that no one is resisting in your household, right?
That is correct.
So tell us about it. Have you had any growing pains in the marriage, or has everything been pretty smooth for you? And if so, how did you come to those? How did you get there?
Yeah, so I do think it is a dying to self and losing a part of you. Um, the great thing about what you lose, you gain so much more. So my comment stopped halfway through what I was saying. And I think the biggest growing pains, you got two people that live two separate lives. And what you're growing is you trying to become one. I think most people think that you become once the day that you say, I do. Nah, it's a process
Yeah,
of
that's why it says becoming.
it's becoming, and it takes time. And I really believe,
Yeah, like these two.
I think a lot of people don't give it enough time to actually become one. A lot of people quit before that becoming one. So the one thing I say is that I can't even imagine that. So in the last 3 years, I haven't even really shopped in a grocery store. I'm so clueless on that because my wife does all those things.
So you've never seen that before, where when a couple is buying groceries and it hasn't. They both go in and one is trying to hang back to see the woman's trying to hang back and see them if the man's gonna pay for it, or the woman is trying. You've never seen that before.
No,
I definitely have.
Well, I'm pretty sure my wife might see it,
but you just don't go to the grocery store. I got you.
Yeah, the one thing that we said is that we knew bank accounts. Like my wife would tell you, I checked her credit. Like I was like, hey, let me see your credit because I want to pay off any debt that you have, but I need to make sure that's something that I realistically can do. I paid off her school loans. She had medical. I just paid off those things, and I felt like that was my obligation if I was going to come into this marriage together, because it was no longer just her debt; it was our debt.
Right.
Coming into the marriage. But when it really comes down to it, I think wills. I just want to say that you got to have a will. And the one thing I'm going to say is that I believe that married people can make it through anything as long as you don't quit and you don't have an option to leave. I learned if you knew for a fact that you were stuck with this person for the next 60 years, you would make it work. You will make it work because the thing is that you don't have the option is either I go through hell with this person or we make it better. And so I think a lot of people, since they have the option to leave, they take the easiest option, which I think is the most wimpiest option, instead of working on your marriage and trying to find that. So
what if one party doesn't want to make it work?
You have to let them go.
You gotta let them go. Yeah. So
but Mandrill, I would ask that one person. I don't know the situation, but my question to them would be, why did you get married?
That's the thing. I mean, some people get married and then how they go. Some marriages go to the point where they might fall out of love with the spouse for a period of time, but then later on it comes back.
That's daily work. See, I
Right.
hear what you're saying.
I agree. It's not for me. It's just like I see this happening, and I've seen it happen a lot over the years, and I'm just wondering, like, okay, once it gets to that point, what suggestions would you have to convince that person to power through, or for me, let's say I'm the one who feels that way. What do I do to power through that? Because I'm not. If I get married, I have no exit strategy at all.
Okay, so Mandrill, that is what you spoke about a moment ago. It didn't start that day. That was some sort of process of things happening. And see what that was is that's a single person's mindset that says, oh, I'm not in love anymore. I need to leave. That's not a marriage mindset. When you're becoming one, you're trying to get on one accord with that person. You're going to understand that everything is not going to be to your liking. That's what you call sacrifice. So when you say, I don't love you anymore, or I'm feeling I don't like you anymore, something took place. And what we have to do is, that's what I'm talking about. See, there was some resistance there, or there was some not willing. Somebody along the way became not willing, or just plain out selfish. And when you become selfish, you can say how you want something to be for yourself, but that has nothing to do with the marriage. And that's what I think breaks marriages up. When I get to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm not happy here anymore, that's about me. That has nothing to do with the marriage.
Well,
So what do you do? What do you do then if you have that sensation? What is the fix?
With the
If there
person,
is one.
I wouldn't allow myself to get to that point. But if I did, I would have to remind myself that I'm married. It's not about me. I'm in a union. And I don't think that's what people do. We still continue on with these single mindsets that it's about me and my happiness, and then him and his happiness. And as long as we both are happy on each side, then we're good together.
It's not like that.
Can I add just something to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
The key, I think this is a key. It's some things that only my wife can do for me. So I think I can't fall out of love with something I love if I only can get it from one person. I think, let me give you an example. Sex. I only can get sex from my wife, and it's something that I enjoy. So it's hard for me to say I don't want this anymore because she's my only option. And I think what happens is people have other options to get love and away from other people, and that's why they fall out. That's why
they have the other options in mind. Like they'll say, okay, if this doesn't work, so that you say what you're saying is they're thinking, okay, so if this doesn't work, if I left right now, I could go get that tomorrow. You know, if I left the marriage today, I still got that option and that option and that option. And that's what they keep in their mind, and that's what takes them out of it. Is what you're saying.
That's one of the biggest problems.
Hold on for a minute. Let me read this comment. We Ain't Signing says it's crazy not to have an exit plan, especially if you have deal breakers. See, I understand what you're saying, but if you have if you have a mindset of being on one accord and being about the union, you will never get to this place. You see what I'm saying? See,
you're wasting more time on the division instead of the
right. You're on the what if we separate. What if we separate instead of how am I going to keep it together?
We concentrate on the what ifs.
We're still allowing the single mind to come in instead of sacrificing for the union.
Exactly. So I got to be honest with you, security boss. Like when I get married, I don't want to get divorced. Like to me, there's no point. If you're gonna get divorced, what's the point? What was the point in the first place? Honestly,
that's right. I mean? So you have said something so divine. You took a vow. You said, you looked her in the eyes, and she looked you in yours, and you said to her, "I'm going to love you through sickness and in health. I don't care if you got the flu. I don't care if you got diarrhea. I don't care what you got, baby. I'm gonna love you." And you're saying the same thing to her, baby. No matter what happens, if you get an autoimmune disease, it doesn't matter. I'm going to love you, baby. This is the main one to me, for richer or for poor. Now, you made a commitment to be with me, whether I'm broke or I got money, but then we get together and get married. You want to separate it. I'm a mute.
I don't get
the question. I got a
question. But see, we ain't signing to say, okay, I understand what that party is saying. If she cheats, he's out. Of course, I will tell any dude or any woman, they constantly cheating on you like that.
No, see, look, let me tell you something. Male, hold on for a minute. See, again, you're thinking with the single mind again. This is both parts.
That has nothing to do with a single mind.
Yes, it does.
If she actually cheats on you.
She cheated on you because she cheated on you because she had a single mindset. That's her cheating wasn't about you.
I'm not going to stay in the marriage.
But listen, there's a wave that it doesn't have to happen. But if it does, I agree with you. If that's where you are,
that's what I'm saying.
but guess what? That shouldn't be your concentration. Your concentration should be.
I'm not concentrating on that, but that happens also too.
But guess what? I don't think about that. I don't think about if my husband cheats, I'm going to leave him. That's not my thought.
Mel, are you married?
Neither. That's not
Mel,
my
you
thought
married?
either.
Mel, are you married?
Well, why would you?
Mel, are you married?
No, I'm not married. But
Okay, so listen. Hold on, Mel. Let me help you.
Infidelity. I'm not going to stay with her.
Hold on. Listen, Mel. Hold on, Mel. Let me say something to you. If you were married, right, and you and your wife were together for say 5-6 years, and out of that union, 2 children were born, right? She's a great mom. You're a great dad. Your wife goes out and she does cheat on you, right?
I'm out. Right.
Okay, hold on. No. Listen, I understand. You're being very aggressive right now. I understand that.
I don't care.
You say you're out. Hold on. You say you out. But then when you married her, you told her that you would be with her in spite of any of that.
Nope. That's
You
a
didn't?
deal breaker.
You didn't say that. You didn't say that in your vows.
I don't care. She broke the vow, so I'm going to break mine.
But the vow that
what if you broke yours first? Would you?
Hear me out. Because here's the factor. If you're gonna cheat on me, then you know what? We should have been in an open relationship. I don't respect cheaters. Cheaters are verbal cowards to me.
Take it easy, security boss. He's from New
York.
York.
That's why it's so wait. Hold it. That's why it's so wait. I respect people in open marriages because that's no cheating going on. There's no cheating in open marriages. They tell each other what they want to do. Open up. There shouldn't be no cheating. So she has to go behind my back and everything. Then you know what? How can I respect you? No.
Yeah. See,
but
he's from New York. Security boss.
I should have been brave enough to tell her, you know what? I know I'm sexual attracted, but I want to explore sexual attraction to other women. I should have had the guts to tell her that. If I don't, then that made me a verbal coward.
But no, that makes you have a single mindset within a marriage. That's what we're talking about. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
What it sounds like.
What you're saying, Mel. Hold on for a minute, black man. Mel, hear what you're saying. Hear what you're saying. See that's what we're talking about right there.
That's what I follow. I don't agree with cheating. Period.
You don't. No. I'm not telling you to cheat.
Period. You shouldn't be in a committed relationship. You just do the open relationship or just don't be in a relationship. Period. You should be in a non-monogamous relationship.
Okay, we agree with that. We agree with that. I just thought you said something about cheating. Okay, I agree with that. You should not. You should know that going in. Go ahead.
Mel's been hurt. You can hear it in his voice that he's been cheated on before.
I said, but I want to say this. I'm a big advocate.
Wait a minute, y'all. One at a time. I can't. Let's Mel. Go ahead and say what you got to say and get it out. But you got to let other people talk also. Go ahead.
I'm not. I always been that way. Period. I never agree with dudes cheating on a woman. Period. When I was single and sleep dudes do that, you know what go in my mind? Why don't you just stay single?
We agree with you.
Multiple women. Why you gotta cheat behind the back?
We agree with you. We agree with that. But I don't understand how that's how is that?
Too. Like if you gotta cheat on a good man's back, why don't you just stay single?
We agree. No. We agree. But that's what we were talking about. That's a single. If a woman feels like that she even might be the person that cheats, she wouldn't bring that into a marriage. That's where we're starting. Our signing says if his wife did that, then he would be out. He can choose to do that. But what we're saying is that woman brought a single person's mindset into the marriage. She wasn't ready for the marriage if she went out and cheated. Now, I do know things happen, but even if they happen, that still says the same thing. They, at some point in time, reverted back to being selfish and about being single and not the union of marriage in order to cheat, whether it was a woman or a man. Yep. So you're saying the same thing that we're saying. I just don't think you're listening to us. Or maybe we're not listening to you. I don't know. We're trying, though. We're trying.
And that's a shame, man. It's security boss.
I got a question for the other two married people. So I guess it's security boss and Black Men Unfiltered. So my question to you guys is, I see it one way, and I want to see if you see it a different way.
What's your way?
I believe that if people say they have deal breakers, that deal breakers are a single mindset. Or do y'all feel that's not true?
No, they are. They definitely are. But that's what you do when you first get married, because you don't know. You don't know what it takes to keep a marriage together. Being married is something you grow into. I mean, you get married and then you decide what you're going to do. Are you going to be married or are you going to just go through the motions? like I said for myself, when I heard the vows, it got real to me right then in that moment. But I still didn't know everything. I still had to figure out how to grow up in it, because no matter what, I still was that person. I was a single woman until I got married. So I'm still going to be used to doing things the way that I was doing them until I evolved and said, okay, now I got this. But the thing with me is I wasn't resistant to it. What we hear so much is resistant to evolving into the marriage. Instead of we doing that, we decide we're going to get out because we don't want to have those sacrifices. Nobody wants to sacrifice. We want to keep that single need and want in the marriage and just want to agree. You know, the man, he gonna keep his little single man's night out where he drinks and entertain women, as long as that Friday night, as long as it don't mess with the woman's girls' night out on Friday night. Oh, they good. But the reality of it is the things that they're doing when they with the girls and with the guys, they shouldn't be doing, but they want to keep that, and they're agreeing on it, so it's okay. But then guess what? It's okay until he cheats, or I'm gonna give y'all a break. It's okay until she cheats, and then maybe pregnant. And then 9 years down the road, he find out that wasn't even his baby, it was somebody else's. See, that kind of stuff is what happens.
And you know what, security boss? It's amazing that we talking about this right now, and we talked about what we talked about earlier. It's amazing that that women or men, I want to be balanced here, can share their bodies with their wife and then a side chick, or the husband and then a side dude, but you still won't share your money.
You still say you're not getting that money. So listen, if I have some women, if there's some women in the chat, I would love for you guys to come up, because you see all this testosterone around me. They're listening, and I know you guys are listening too, but I want y'all to speak up and tell me what you think. Deal breakers are something you do in the beginning of your marriage, and usually as you invest more time into the marriage, they kind of go away. But you know, it is something.
Because by that time, hopefully by that time,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Mandrell, go ahead.
Yeah, because hopefully by that time, the time you're talking about security boss, hopefully by that time, you have seen that you can trust that person. Because here's my thing: with what I'm offering a woman, I have to have ultimate trust in that person that I'm going to marry, like unconditional, complete, and utter trust. I need to be able to trust that person with my life. That's
I think you need to figure that out before you need to figure that out before you get married, because you're grown.
Right.
You're not a kid.
Right. But the thing is, my thing is, with what I'm offering a woman,
right,
I have to be able to trust her with that. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And it's just you hit something. You hit the nail on the head with it today with this topic. I think, in my opinion, at least. Most women, because remember when I first met you, these are the things I was telling you I was running into time and time again, and that's why my dating life only lasts like 1, maybe 2 dates. And once I see the single woman's mindset, I walk away, and that's why people ask me, why aren't you married yet? It should be easy. No, not when you run through 10,000 of them with the same single woman's mindset. But
where are you expecting them to be? They are single women.
Well, exactly. I mean, and they say that they're ready for they want to be married, but when you ask them what does it look like, it sounds like the same thing as a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. And I'm like, what's the difference between us being married then and what we'd be doing in just a regular relationship, apart from living together, of course?
Yeah, like
that's when I would say. Wait, hold on for a minute, Mel. That's what I would say. The one that knows about marriage and know what it is, that's when that person should go into leadership. If you're the person, I'm not gonna say leadership. Somebody needs to be defining marriage. If you have a woman that you're talking to and she doesn't really know what a marriage look like, it needs to be defined, because I don't think they know. I really don't think they don't know. But the most important thing though is they need to say to you that they're willing and they can sacrifice. That's the two major ingredients, because we don't know, because she still has to adjust to the husband. Right. And your woman is not going to look like the same woman that adjusted to Panderson. Mm-hmm. It's going to be two different women.
Right. So I think that's the problem. So when I went to my wife, I laid out what the expectations for marriage was. I said, hey, I am looking for marriage. These are the things and the roles that I'm expecting for you to fill. Is this something that you could do? I think we want women to be married minded and they're single. I think it's really important that men lead them to that mindset.
Yeah, and I do. The thing is, I do that. I do. When they asked me, I said, okay, I hear what you're saying. Now this is how it's going to go. And then I lay it out. I lay out the rules, you know what I'm saying, of what I'm looking for in a marriage.
What do you mean by rules? We're
Respect
talking
me.
about adult women. What do you mean by
Yes.
rules? What do you mean by rules?
Rules.
Tell
Be
me about
nice. Here
be
you go.
nice.
I'm laying them out. Be nice.
Being
Number
nice
one.
is a rule. Okay, I got you now.
Respect me.
Okay.
Acknowledge my position as head of household. Respect my position as head of household. That is all. Everything that falls under those umbrellas, that's what I need from you. They say no.
So listen, I would suggest that now I don't know how you say those things, but I would suggest you change it. And when you're changing it, what you should lead with is what I need from a woman, not the rules are. You should say what I need from a woman is respect. I need acknowledgement. I need you to respect that I'm the man of the household and I'm willing to take care of you. A woman is not going to say no to that because you're giving something. So the way you said it is you're controlling something. And it's like you're talking to a child. If you if you start at the end and go from the end to the beginning, then you will have exactly what you want because they'll understand what you're saying. The way you're displaying it or the way you display it to me doesn't sound right.
How does it not sound right? Hold on, E-Man, give me a second. How does that not sound right? I just gave you exactly what I was looking for.
No, you said the rules are, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm an adult. There's no rules amongst adults because you don't treat an adult woman like a child. Children have rules. Adult people make decisions to do things. They have standards. And if you approach it as a standard or saying to me how good you could be for me, then I'm going to see exactly what you are saying and I'm going to want to give it to you. But if you approach it as these are the rules. You need to make your bed up by 8:00. You need to be in the shower by 9. No, I know you
I know
didn't
what you're
say
saying.
that.
I know what you're saying.
But you at the end, this is what you said. You said I need to be acknowledged and I'm gonna take care. I want to be part of the house. I'm gonna be the man in the household. And it was one more.
Acknowledge the last two. Acknowledge my position of head of household. Number the last one, respect my position as head of household.
Okay, so this is what you're saying. This is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
As head of household, you're saying, I'm willing to take care of you. I want to take care of you, and I will do that. That's the man that I am. And I just want you to acknowledge and appreciate me and always respect me. Mm-hmm. You just told this woman you're going to take care of her, and she just needs to acknowledge it, and you will be that man forever, and you're promising that to her. And she's going to tell you, no, it's not. That's not how it works. She's going to say, really? You're going to do all that? Sure, I'll do it. That's what makes a woman willing. That's what makes a woman willing. But a woman is not going to submit to a controlling man that just told her what she has to do because that's not the way it works. She's an adult.
But if she wants it to work, it is how she's going to have to do those things.
No, I just agreed. I agreed with everything you said that I will do that. But it was the way that it was presented. I just presented to you because you telling me you're going to be the head of the household. What does that mean?
That she'll be on my she's gonna follow my lead.
No, what does that mean for you?
For me, instead of household?
Yes.
I am responsible for her safety.
Okay, so talk from your point of view. Talk from your point of view. Don't tell her what she needs to think. See, if you're selling yourself, sell yourself. You can't talk from her point of view and tell her what she needs to expect. You sell yourself. You say, as the head of the house, you didn't got to say as the head of the household. As a husband, I am going to take care of you. I'm going to make sure you have this. I'm going to make sure you have that. I'm going to make sure we do this. You just got to respect me and appreciate that I'm doing this. And you're going to tell me she's going to look at you and say, no, I'm not going to do that.
There's some that will. Hey, hold on, security boss. You've met a few.
No. Yes, I have never met a woman that if a man came to them and said, I'm going to take care of you, you ain't got to do nothing. Well, back man, but she didn't say no. She just couldn't say nothing because she couldn't understand the proposition. But if you're telling a woman everything that they want, and wait a minute, let me first say this. Y'all have already established that y'all have interest in each other, right? Mm-hmm. This is not like, okay. So you're telling a woman that already is feeling you that you want to take care of her. But all she got to do is respect you and acknowledge the fact that you're doing this. And she's gonna say, you want to take care of me? What does that look like? And you're gonna tell her everything it looks like. I'm gonna bring all the responsibility is gonna be on me. I'll do this, I'll do that, and you ain't even got to worry about that. All I want you to do is sit around here and look cute and do this and this. And she gonna say, that's all you want me to do? And you're gonna say, yeah, that's all I need you to do. And she gonna turn around and say, no, I don't want that.
No,
The one I told you about. Hold on. The one I told you about that I was gonna get married to. She said no to it.
No.
And wait. And she saw everything.
No,
she
you missed
saw
the
everything.
point. You missing the point, Mandrill. You missed the point.
Let me try to defend him a little bit.
Wait a minute, though. Wait a minute. Let me tell him why he missed the point. You missed the point because you did it your way. I just gave you another way.
I got you. It's the way it was displayed.
Yes.
But by that time, she should have been used to me by then.
Because I seen this on a TV. You remember in Good Times when Valona, when she adopted Penny, she met this wealthy guy.
Look at he always bringing the movies. Go ahead, Mel.
It's definitely making a point to what Mandrill is saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
He said it differently and stuff, and I know you're trying to give him some advice. I'm gonna bring the full circle. When she met that man, right? That man was very wealthy. He loved Leona and her adopted daughter. He loved both of them, her and Penny. And he told her exactly how you was telling Mandrill that I would love you to be with me. You know what I'm saying? I'll take care of you and her. I love you both and everything. Very wealthy. You know what Lola says? I'm sorry, I can't take your offer because I went to work, had my own independency. There are women like that. Because
I've never known one, but he just gave you an example.
I told you. Hold on. I told you. My last.
Real quick. For a minute. Let me respond to one comment. CJ100 says what? Well, wait 1 second. Let me get that comment. Y'all not living in a real world. Yes, because this is my life. This is a real world, CJ. This is my real world. But go ahead. Who was that one?
I just want to say, I swear to God, look, when I do this, you can cook. So I've heard it. And I'm like I said again, I'm trying to stay out of trouble here. But I've heard a few women say that when I go into a marriage, and this is the word. This is what CJ is saying. He just didn't say it right.
Okay.
There are women that says I want my independency. I would love to have companionship and a partnership with you. And they're not being mean at all. I'm not saying they being you this. No, there are some very successful women that say I don't want. I want a partnership. I don't want a leader. I don't want you coming in trying to be a leader. I want a partner. I want a partnership. I make $150,000 a year. I will make financially. We're going to be good. I know you make good money. I make good money. When we go into this is not going to be a traditional marriage. I'm not a traditional marriage kind of girl. So I'm going to still be in the corporate world. I think this is a partnership. I don't think this is a dictatorship or a leadership on your half or mine. We're going to be equal, and we're going to make money, and we're going to be good together.
But that's not a woman you want to marry.
But hold on, even if that woman, see, it's a secret.
You don't marry that woman. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It is a secret to submission, and most men haven't figured it out. And I'm gonna tell you tonight. It's gonna be
hold that thought, because Big Bad Bull gave us a super chat, and he gets the money line song.
Oh wow. Big Bad Bull, you ain't nothing.
You ain't about nothing, Big Bad Bull. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Big Bad Bull says, I need to know what happened to Mandrill and Estella. He flirted with her and she seemed genuinely interested. I will send another super chat if he gives us a full detail. Buddy be fronting. So listen, Mandrill, hold that thought. Think about it. Go ahead. Listen, we got to get Panderson in here. E-Man, go ahead and give us a comment.
I just want to finish this. It is a secret to submission. Like, no, it really is. I promise you, it's the secret.
There are some women, E-Man, who will not submit no matter what.
Strong.
I'm telling you, I was with one. She didn't care how much money I made.
See, you already
hold on. Didn't care what I could provide. Didn't care how much I loved to. I offered to adopt her kid. I was gonna have her a brand new house built from the ground up.
That's not the
What do you say?
secret.
Submission?
That's
No,
not the
not a thing.
secret.
Wait, man, no,
Wait a minute. Go ahead, E-Man. Go ahead and give your secret. Tell them your secret. Maybe they need to know something. You're a married man. Tell us your secret.
I'm about to tell you the secret for submission.
Go ahead.
What is it?
The one secret for submission, what women are looking for, they're looking for you to be submitted to something higher than you.
Mm-hmm.
See, the key is men are asking women submit to me, and they're not living by example. They're not
She
submitting to nobody.
wasn't
Hold on, wait,
religious.
No, wait, Mandel. Just wait.
She
one
wasn't
second.
religious.
Mandrell.
Wait.
He does it on purpose. Security
Oh,
police.
okay. I'm
He said
sorry.
my name right before. He does it on purpose.
But no, it's really, see, what happened is we say this attitude of do as I say and not as I do. That's what when men say submit to me and I'm not submitted to nothing else, you're asking her to do something that you're not willing to do. And so what I am saying is, one thing I learned when I submitted to God and she saw me in submission. It's not that it was something that I said. She saw that I was at a point where I said, I'm going to do this God way because he's higher than me. My wife had no problem submitting to me because she realized that it wasn't about me leading us. It was about the family. So she was submitted to me because she felt that she was submitted to God through me. And so that's the key, is that we ask people, hey, submit to us and we can do what the hell we want to, but we want to
believe in it. She didn't believe in all that.
I got another secret I can tell them.
Wait a minute, Mayo. Hold on. I got this is a good question. E-Man, thank you. I got this. Listen, we got to get Panderson in on this, but this is a good question. So, to all the men on the panel, do you think submission is a religious concept?
Yes.
Okay, so there we go. Right there.
Natural.
So hold on for a minute. So is it say it again? Is it a religious concept?
It's a natural thing.
So if it's a natural thing, then you saying it shouldn't be an issue. Once the man is in position, a woman should naturally do it.
Mm-hmm.
She should naturally want to, right. But you got some women who do not want to.
And security,
no matter what you do.
No, E-Man is clicking a little bit up there because he said this.
No, he's not.
Submission, yes, he is. Let me tell you why. Because submission is straight from the Bible. That's what a woman does. That's what a woman does for her husband, and a husband loves his wife. So Mandrell, you want to bring in a traditional religious concept into a worldly situation and make her submit to that, but then you don't want to seek the foundation that it came from.
What do you
or
mean?
You don't want to make. No, I'm not saying. I'm saying you don't want to make that a qualifier.
What? Her being believing in God?
Well, the whole concept, because you said she wasn't religious. If she's not religious, she's not going to understand the concept of submission.
You're right. Yeah, that's that.
Religious women don't understand the concept of submission.
No, you can't do that. No, let's stick right here where we are. You're bringing in. No, listen. You're bringing in a religious. You're bringing in a religious concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you say she's not a religious woman. Okay, so I get it. How are you going to get her to give you what you need if she doesn't believe in the concepts that you want her to believe in?
Well, marriage is a religious concept.
Exactly. I'm saying you keep on, keep walking down the road. Keep on.
So my thing is, so you say submission is a religious concept. I say it's something.
I asked the question. Go ahead.
What was the question?
Is submission a religious concept?
No.
You got women who don't believe in anything, straight atheists, and totally docile and submissive to their husbands.
You don't think atheist is a religion? They just don't believe in God. But that's a form of religion. What do you call it? What do you call it?
An atheist is a person that
doesn't believe in religion or God. They don't believe in anything. Right.
An atheist is a person that believes nothing came from nothing and created something to be something.
No, that's not it. They just
okay. Look, I didn't mean to derail y'all. I think y'all might need to go. I think we might need to go look that up because I do think this concept with them that they have a way about them, and a religion is just the way you worship. So they have a belief system, is what I'm saying. A belief system. They have one.
I'll explain it to you.
No, I don't want to know. I don't
No,
want to
it's
know.
just
I'm just saying. No, I don't want to get off on that. I'm just saying to you.
All right.
Okay, I agree, but even in their belief, if it's not a religion, even in their beliefs, there is some. Is there? Do you think there's marriage, isn't it, or there's a union, right?
Yeah, they get married.
Would you say they get married, or would you say they have a union?
Oh, a union.
Right.
I mean, call it what you want. It's the same thing. You go to the courthouse and get the paperwork, and then
Okay,
and then get this: they get married from a priest. Atheists do.
Anyway, okay, so
make that make sense.
Delusional dysfunction.
Right. Make
that's
that
what
make
we're
sense.
saying. They do have atheists do have a value system, but that's not what
They
we're
have a
talking
value
about right
system,
now.
yes.
Well, if you're calling a marriage being atheist is marriage, so it's all saying the same thing. They just still have a way of doing what they do. That's the only point I was trying to make by that. So going back to the original question, if submission is a religious concept, I guess we would say a Christian concept, and she hasn't given place to any of that in her life, how would she actually understand that if that's not something that you're teaching her as the leader?
I could teach her that if she was willing to follow, but she didn't want to follow. She wanted
You make it the model, but she's not sucking.
If everybody is, let me explain, she wanted a partnership. But then even when I said, okay, explain to me how that partnership looks, she went down the line and said, okay, it can't work that way. Why not? Because there's no difference in what you just explained and what we're doing today, except we be living in the same house. So here's what I propose. I told her how it looked. And she was like, no, what? Because you just want to be the boss of me.
Exactly.
No,
Because that's what you presented to me a moment ago.
Yep.
She's exactly right. And that was your presentation. That's my point. That was what your presentation was.
That's
just
not an excuse. No excuse for her. Not for her. She had been with me long enough to know better.
Okay.
I've never tried to. Here's the thing. I've never tried to boss her around. Never walked around barking orders at her. You know what I'm saying? I just say, listen, I need you to take care of this for me. Can you do it? Yeah. Okay. I need you to take, or you're like, I need you to take care of this for me. Can you handle that? No, I got X, Y, and Z to take care of. Okay, cool. I'll get it done. Don't worry about it.
So I think
that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I never walked around barking orders at anybody. I don't want a robot or a maid or a slave. I don't have time for that nonsense. I don't need to micromanage anybody.
You just said she did everything you asked her to do.
Not everything.
Okay. I thought that's what you just said. You told us.
I mean, we worked. We you know, if I asked her to take care of something for me, if she was able to,
she did
then
it.
she would.
This
time, but after we get married, I told her, if I need you to take care of something, unless it has to deal with your child, this takes priority. I take priority in this after we're married. Well, why? Because I'm your husband.
See, that's not the answer. That's not the answer. That's not the answer. It's just not like that.
No.
Why would it be? Why would it be like that? Why would it just be because I'm your husband? Why would it? Why do you think it would just be just like that without telling her what it is this means?
If you hadn't cut me off, if you hadn't cut me off,
you said she has no concept, right? You said she has no concept of a marriage.
No, if she had her idea of the way it would work, and that's all. Apparently that's the only idea she had, a partnership. And I said no, that's not exactly how it goes. So I started explaining it to her, and she just wasn't with it. I was like, okay.
See,
and no matter what, then we couldn't agree on my position when it came to having agency of the child. So to rectify that, and we went on about that, had several different conversations about that. So to rectify that, I said, why don't I adopt her? Comes up with a lame brain excuse why she didn't want that to happen. Okay.
She definitely wasn't the one, so I agree with you on that.
Yeah, exactly. She didn't want
to. I've actually shown before we actually got married.
Hold on for a minute. Let's hear from Dr. Panderson. He's been over there quiet on vacation.
Yeah. What up, Dr. Panderson?
What's going on? Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah.
Some of this argument I won't bother because it's beating a dead horse. E-Man and Anton are always gonna say, as soon as you open the front door of your house, there's 5,000 wives just sitting there, and all you got to do is be E-Man or Anton.
Anton, that's all it takes.
That's true.
Every other man is screwing it up. It's no use in that one. I already know what they're gonna say, but I do listen to what they have to say because there's
shots fired.
No, not necessarily shot fired. As far as that, I know what they're gonna say. But there's a lot of other stuff that they say is some great stuff that people need to hear. I just won't go on that argument.
I'm starting to see a trend though. Go ahead. I'm gonna tell you my trend when you finish. Go ahead.
I already know. But Mandrell, if a person, and I plead guilty to this because I wasn't, let's just be real. The people out here who are trying to date, we weren't taught. I just got sent out here like a wind up mouse, pushed out the front door and said, go find somebody. And we got to be 30. The generation above us greased us, and we got to learn it all ourselves. The big dark hole for the men is emotional intelligence, understanding how a woman thinks and who she is. Where is her mind? And the best thing to do is ask the questions. What a lot of people aren't understanding in 2022 is most of these women are not wives, ain't trying to be no wives, and it's just what it is. I'll come to the terms to accept it. For example, if somebody comes to me and pulls me over and says, hey man, you say you want to be a husband. Show me your resume. Show me what you're doing to prepare yourself to be a husband. I can go in on that. And I got something to say and something to show. If you ask a lot of the women, they have nothing to show, saying this is what I'm doing and this is how I'm more prepared. Instead, it's a lot of baggage, and then the man has to transform them and hope and pray. Oh my God, I hope she don't grease me and run off with the kids. Or there is a very small selection of women who have some preparation to be a wife. I'm not saying the right or wrong and that these people, those people, the men hate it. I'm just saying it's what it is. And that's what we see. If you don't believe it, open the front door, go stop at the mall and have a conversation with 5 women. Or have a conversation with 10 men. You'll see it. This is 2022. If you don't believe it, get on YouTube. People are watching and listening to these channels beat up the black man that's been going on for 30 years. It's a fact. Someone's logging on to this junk. That means it's what they want to hear. They want to inject this into their brains. There's a market for it, and it's 5 times bigger than the market that we're in right now over in the manosphere. All I'm saying is there are facts to what the people are saying. We're not just making this stuff up. We're not.
Listen, last night I had a conversation with a young man, and I named 5 young ladies right here in my neighborhood that are between the ages of 24 and 30 that are very eligible, very nice girls, and they want to be wives just in my neighborhood alone.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
What I would say is the problem is
can I get some details?
We gotta get these type of
people
together.
Hold on for a minute.
Hey,
but listen, hold on. I'm talking to Dr. Patterson. Now, Dr. Patterson, they're probably not on YouTube. So I would agree with you with that.
Yeah, because YouTube is YouTube. But I just want to know, what about these women? What do you see that qualify? What do you see as far as them being wives?
I saw how they were brought up. I see how I interact with them. I see right now how they have relationships with their fathers. I see how they move, how they don't indulge in certain things. Just basic. I'm not going to call them innocent because they're not innocent, but just good girls, good women. They're examples. They're examples.
I guarantee all those girls would not submit to a man that's not submitted to something else.
Man, can she finish? We're trying to focus on. I'm trying to hear something positive for once.
But I will tell you this, E-Man. I will tell you this, and you can think about this in a couple of ways. They are nurses and teachers. One's a dentist. It's 2 nurses, 2 teachers, and a dentist. But they're not, even though they're career girls, they're in the careers where you give back. They're in that kind of career. And that's what we used to be taught to do. If you can think back, that's what women were supposed to be doing, service givers. So that is who they are. But they're not big mouth women. They're not, like shaking their heads, and they're natural girls. They're not excessively makeup and things like that. They actually have been focused on being who they are. Some of them went to definitely Christian high schools, couple, and one of them graduated from East Carolina. I mean, they're good girls, they're ready now, or almost ready now, to be married. And they're go ahead.
I was gonna say, what are they saying? If they're 24 to 30, because the truth is there's a shortage.
Between 24, they're between those ages. I may be going a little too high. One of them might be 23. One of them is in her like second year or third year of becoming a dentist. So she's maybe got like a half a year left. She might be what, 22? So she might be the youngest. But these no, listen, these are not glamorous girls. They don't know anything about that yet. They haven't come into that part of their life where they want really to be the glam. Meaning men have not been there, men have not been on the forefront of their minds as of yet. But now it's time for them to come into that. They've been on their purpose, and I'm sure their dads told them this is what you need to do because you want to be a nurse, you want to be a teacher, and then want to be a dentist. So now it's time for them to actually get into that part. So they're growing up now. They're ready to say, oh, okay, I want to have my hair this way. They've just been kind of natural girls, just going through the motion. Now they may want to get makeup and put heels on and stuff like that. So
what are they saying as far as dating, as far as the men? What are they saying?
They want to date. They want to date men, but they've been in environments though where, well, let me tell you this though. They're open to all men.
They should be. That's option. Race doesn't matter.
Yeah. They're open to all men. I will say that, Panderson, but they're not putting any they're not saying, because they've seen it. Their mothers are wives. They've seen it. One of them's mom did get a divorce, but they've seen it though. They've seen this thing play out. So they're not resistant to it. For them, it's kind of almost, it's evolving from them. Now it's time to go to a different part of my life. These girls don't want to be single. They just had something they needed to do, but they're not like career, like I'm a nurse. You better not talk to me. I don't need you, Negro. No, they're not. They're not doing that.
I was told. Hold on. Let me get this in. I
want to say something. Please.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me. Panderson and I are talking. Let me. Go ahead, Panderson.
If she said they're not those people, why are we always going to the negative, saying yes they are? I'm taking.
I don't know. I just think it's because it's a whole. I think it's because it's a whole sector or group of people that are not on YouTube that you all haven't been exposed to. And I've said this a while back. I say I think men who are sincere about finding a mate need to get off of YouTube for a minute and just find them, because they're out here. I'm telling you, five of them right here around me.
Where do you go look? Where do these chicks hang out at?
They may not be the hanger outers.
Exactly. I mean, so how do I get if they go home, go to work and go home? How am I supposed to find them?
I don't know. That's up to you to find them.
Right.
It is not up. It's not up to me.
Make a point real quick. This is the problem. Just like we tell some women, we tell some dudes, you want to find a certain type of woman, you have to get out your zone that you're in to find where these type of women are at. This is the problem. Even Kevin Samuels has said this. It's not like there's a lot of good men out there, but if we put this group of women and this group of men in one spot and let nature take its course, there'd be a lot of hookups right there, marriages right there. We need to get these people typed together. But the woman that you know that is around your area, they probably stay stuck in their area. They have to get out their area and go out.
You know what? They might be. A couple of them might be at Starbucks in the morning reading a book. Are you going to Starbucks in the morning to read a book? Probably not.
I totally agree.
But if she's trying to get married, she still have to go out.
Wait a minute. I'm just giving you an example of where these girls might be, or they might be at the library doing an Excel spreadsheet for their budget, or they may be one of them just bought a house. Single woman just bought a house.
They might be at church on Sunday morning.
They are at church on Sunday morning. No, this particular group, they are. But still, my point I'm trying to make is, you do have to position yourself where you want to meet these women. So Panderson, that's why we got I Choose You. I Choose You is not going to be about YouTube only. When it comes time, and I'm not lying to you at all, I'm already talking about it. When it comes time for the bachelor to be chosen and his girls, for him to choose his bachelorette, these 5 girls will be a part of it. I'm going to work if they're not too bashful, because this is not what they do. They don't do YouTube. But if they're not too bashful to come and participate, then they will be participating. I'm going to show you a different type of woman that is out there. I'm going to show you the girl that hangs out at Starbucks and reads a book, or that might go to, what happened to that restaurant? Anyway, I ain't going to go there. But anyway, there's different.
I believe, here's the thing, Security Boss. I believe you because I do run into women like this. It just so happens that they're taken. Like, it's true that these type of women get snatched up like that. I mean, these haven't been
women
that get snatched up like that.
These women have not been snatched up. These women have not been snatched up because they spent the first half of their 20s or 18, out of high school, becoming nurses, dentists, and teachers. So this particular 5 have not been. Now, one is dating a young man, but they're not married. So hey. So, Anderson, did you have any questions before I go to the next person?
No, I was just trying to hear more what you, but how can I say it? If there's women and there's wives and stuff, just like I agree, and there's a lot of things that I have been doing to improve in certain areas, and one of them is going to different places.
Yes, sir.
I knew I've been guilty of. That's one thing that I knew I could have improved, as well as become a better listener, and as well as But those things, I'm gonna explain it short. Be simple. People have made suggestions of stuff that I could improve or do differently. I make the effort to go and do those things.
Mm-hmm.
So when you said, "Hey, I know some women who are wives," I was more listening to hear what you had to say, because they do something, they exist somewhere, and I just want to know more.
Yeah.
Because I know there are some women who I believe there's not enough, but all I'm trying to get is one, and then let everybody else be stuck on the panel.
Trying to figure it out. You're right. No, they're out there, Panthers. Now it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. It's definitely going to be
select few.
Right. I've accepted the fact that the world is what it is. I can get mad and look at these. It is what it is, and I can't change it.
Right. So listen,
everybody, I'm here to get a spouse and let things be what they are. People want to listen, cool. Now we'll light another candle. But it's not my job to go rescue everybody. I'm trying to say
no, we're not rescuing. We're getting you what you want. I'm just telling you they're out there. We just want to change. We want you to align yourself in a different place.
And I think that's
to help others be able to get some wives.
Right. Now listen, I really like the gym thing though. I think the gym should have been a good one, but maybe you should change gyms. Maybe you should go to a different.
They're not in the gym. I'm gonna just be as direct as possible.
You only need one. You need only one though. You might need to change your gym though. Okay, then how about this? Go to yoga class instead of gym. They are doing yoga. They're doing yoga, buddy.
Yeah. I'm gonna sign up for some 5Ks, but in the gym. Okay, let me. I hate to say it like this.
What?
They're in the gym, but they are not black. They're not.
I haven't totally restricted you to that. These girls, like I told you, I said that they're open. I told you that. I do believe that they.
They're outside the race. I was just making it clear. Black women. Yeah.
No, but you need to go to yoga class though. Go to yoga. Go to Listen, I don't know if I don't know if everyone has this, but you've heard of that. Was it called 8? Is it called 8-minute boxing or is it 9-minute? You know what I'm talking about?
Boxing classes, Zumba, all that.
The boxing one where you have the little boxing, it may not still be going since of COVID.
Different types of fighting training classes also.
Yeah, a lot of black women like that. So it may be you need to change maybe your workout specific, from just going to a regular gym. It might need to be maybe you need to go to the Y and swim, and they are at the Y also.
Yeah, a lot of homely women be in the YMCA.
I'm just saying, all you need is one. And I'm just saying, I just know that they're out there because I see them. Now, it's not going to be enough for everybody. I definitely agree with you, Anderson.
Here's the thing. Hold on. Hold on. The women who go to the Y, those are the same women that'll be at the Y for a whole year and the body ain't changed at all.
Okay, we're not talking about that. We're trying to, she might be a little slim girl. These girls are not big at all. No, and they're natural girls. I mean, but I just want you to be able to recognize a natural young woman when you see it. And this is just somebody that hasn't been exposed to too much of the worldly things yet. That's all I'm saying. She hadn't gotten to the Instagram. She's not the BBL type girl. She's just a natural girl, long, natural hair, maybe just a little lip gloss, but she's thin and, a nurse. You know what nurses look like.
I do.
You know,
So
That's what I'm saying.
you know what
Check
dentists.
it
You
out.
know what dentists look like, right? You know what a dentist look like. It's very
That's
rare
what
you
I'm,
find an
that's what I'm
overweight
saying. You have
dentist.
to put them in positions where the man and the woman's going to meet and let nature take its course. Just like how Kevin Samuels made his mitts. You see, some females want this type of man, okay, and this man want this type of woman. He created the Facebook group, his hookup lounge group, and they just in there and boom, let nature take its course.
Yep.
But
And then I'm gonna tell you another way, Panderson. If you haven't gotten you a bike yet, get you a bicycle. Because I know they all know. Well, where I live, we have a lot of trails where you can ride bikes and stuff, and they are all out there. They're all out there, all races. I'm not, I want you to be happy. So
right. And so I think there's three layers. I think there's three layers. Yeah, I think there's three layers to it. Like the one that the men across YouTube complain about, the ratchet, right? We're not talking about them.
No.
But the other two, we're not talking about them tonight. What I'm saying is there the other two types, which I was alluding to earlier with E-Man, is that you have some women that want to be married. And there's two types of women that want to be married right now. There's the one that wants to be married. Listen, baby, I love you. I want to be with you. I just want to have my own things. I just want to be able to have my own things. I don't want you to be over my money. I don't want you to have to be over nothing that I've worked so hard for. All I'm asking is you to just to be my husband, and but when it comes to all this other stuff, I just want to be your partner and you be mine, and we be married, we be together. Let's not be traditional. You have women out there that are untraditional women that want their own things, but they do want to be married. They want to have a man. And Security Boss, you heard the two ladies on my Saturday show one Saturday say that they're married.
That's the modern woman.
And she said it. She I'm married, but me and my husband are partners, and I have what I have. He has what he has, and he doesn't lead. He doesn't put on this leadership role thing when he has to lead all the time. But we're married and we're happy, and it works for us. I'm telling you,
Ain't that the lady that He-Man was debating with?
Oh, yeah.
Your boss, that was her.
No, not that one.
Oh, okay, but I was watching that video when he was debating with her, like when she tried to
Mel, is that your mic? Do y'all hear that?
You popping real bad, man.
So
I'm hearing y'all crackling too. Yeah.
I'm learning though. I'm learning that the guys, this not two people at a time. Go ahead.
So let me say this too. These women, they're out there, and I'm just saying. I had another thought, y'all, and I lost it. Forgive me, but they're out there. But we're not talking about the women that don't want to be a part of this anymore. I don't want that to even be y'all focus. Exactly. I'm sharing women. Oh, I know what it was. Someone made a comment about nurses being too busy. Listen, these particular nurses I'm talking about, they work 3 days a week, 12-hour days, and they're done. So they work Friday. They may work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and they're done.
Who said nurses too busy? Nurses can work.
Somebody in the comment. It was no big. I just know that they said that, but the nurses that I'm talking about now, 3 days a week, 12-hour days, and they out of there. So
perfect.
I don't know, but I do know. And listen, another thing too, I just had an idea of where a lot of women are. I'll think about it and I'll let you know again in a minute. But they're out there. But these, like I said, these young girls were preparing themselves to serve. And that's what they did. Like I said, they're in that healthcare field or they're teachers. And that's what they're here for. And now their concentration is finding a mate. And that's what y'all should maybe look for. It takes eyelash extensions,
no, it don't.
facials, hair extensions, and good makeup, cute clothes. She can be
eyelashes.
Most
need none of that.
average to I can't see it. Average.
It takes eyelash extensions, expensive facials, hair extensions, and good makeup.
You don't need any of that.
We don't even want.
Most women can go from average to nines. No, we don't need that because we want you. Men want you. They don't want your lashes. They don't want your 12-foot long hair. They don't want your butt injections. They don't want you to go get an ass the size of turkey. They want you. They want who you are. They want your natural being. They want you. Look at Security Boss. Security Boss. Now sit up here looking like
nothing fake.
Right, she's sitting up here looking like Tina Fey. Men are attracted to her because they want what she is: natural, beautiful, well-spoken, educated, and loves her husband. That's what they want. Hey, man, your wife ain't walking around no weed.
So wait a minute here, Mel. Stefan says people don't like nurses because Tevin Samuels doesn't. Is that true? Does he have a problem with nurses?
No, he said he's what I heard him say about nurses. Here's what I heard him say about
Oh.
nurses. He says men shouldn't date nurses because they tend to come with that independent mindset.
That's
And
psychologists, not nurses.
and here's the thing,
Said
you know,
nurses too,
he
but
said nurses too. Now here's the thing. Here's my experience with nurses. The one I told you about that just would not submit on any circumstances, a nurse, and all her nurse friends, they had the same.
Okay, but wait a minute. How old was she?
She was in her 30s.
Okay, that's too old. You got to get these girls before they
Them
get
young ones. Yep.
Yep. You got to go somewhere between 23 and 28.
Yep.
I mean,
all nurse positions are the same.
no, listen. If a woman has to live too many years independently, making $100,000 a year, she's an independent woman. Y'all can't take it from her. She had to adjust. She can't help that. That's just something
that's the woman I was just talking about. You're married her. She's like, I just want my own things. I love you, but I've worked hard and I want to be able to keep my own things.
And I've been alone. I've been alone all these years.
Exactly.
And you're not loving. But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
The biggest thing that a lot of men keep saying is that I want these natural women, but these natural women are not getting that attention. They're not getting it.
Them the ones you want.
So listen, Hakeem says nurses are the most promiscuous field. Trust me, that one. And even in the 20s. I mean, maybe so. I mean, women are women, men are men. But the ones that I'm talking about right now haven't been exposed to the world yet. That's what I'm saying. They haven't. And if you get those women at the point where they haven't, then you won't have to worry about that. Yes, sir.
Where you live is it like very conservative or liberal state?
It's a conservative state. It's a conservative state.
That's why that plays definitely part too, depending on what state the females are from. I live in New York, so most percent of the women in New York City are very liberal. So,
Mel, we know you live in New York.
I think what they're saying is true. If you live in a conservative place, I live in a conservative place in the South, so it is. We believe in certain things, we do certain things, and we move certain ways. So that is true. So that does. He has a point.
But you need to move to what you want. Like it's crazy that we don't move or we don't go to places that we want to desire. If I know that the women that I want is in conservative places, especially if it's a man who about getting to the paper, how about you go ahead and move somewhere to find that woman? Is that a big sacrifice to go to where they are at? That's all.
It depends, man. Like if you got a business and you have to pack stuff up and move all that, it might not be worth it, brother. Because
your wife is
a lot.
Your wife,
losing my business and my fortune. No, she needs to move to me. She needs to move to me.
But
you gotta find her first. You gotta find her first.
That's what I got you for, Rich Auntie.
What you mean? I'm married. I'm married.
But you got this show now.
Listen though, my man found me in the club. Y'all the one having all these problems.
Here's the thing.
I continue to go to the club and get you a woman.
You and my rich uncle, both of y'all got this show going on. You and my rich uncle gonna find me one. Maybe perhaps one of these 5 women. I don't know.
That's why we're doing I Choose You.
Girl, you got to pay for that.
Right. That's why you're doing I Choose You.
Yeah, that's why you got to tell them again. I don't think they heard you.
If you ask somebody else to do the work, you got to cut a check.
There you go.
They already rich. I don't need to cut them anything.
But
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Hold on, man. Here's the thing, Spirit Boss. I already paid you, and I paid both you and Mr. Boss. Okay, I paid you blood. Yes, with the sweat of my brow and the strength of my back over there in the desert and in the jungles, fighting for your freedom, so you can have the things that you have now. Haven't I paid enough?
Security boss, ain't it the problem every time that you get somebody a solution, they reject it? Every time I feel like I give single people solutions, they reject it. They're like, "Nah, I can't do that. Nah, I can't do that." And not all.
Here's the thing. You come up with things like,
I agree.
Hey, E, I got your suggestion, and I'm gonna take advantage of it because what you said was right when we talked.
What was the suggestion?
What was it? Which one?
We said pretty much because it's not something I heard first. Do a better effort of going to where these people are.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you gotta do that.
Like a friend of mine told me, and then another friend told me, "Hey man, why don't you do some 5Ks?" I'm actually in DR right now. When I get back, I'm gonna sign up and do 5Ks. I want to see because one of my friends told me slim and trim women running. I want to see it. Worst that can happen, I run it and it's ugly women there. No big deal. I spent $20, $30, $40, $50 for a good cause. Okay, they're not there. Then I'm gonna go where else is that they might not be. Okay, let me go to the beach at a different hour. Let me go here. Let me go there. What do I got to lose? Time. Like I change. I don't go to clubs. I do salsa and bachata. I go to the classes. There's women there.
That's it.
Any luck? Not really, but I'm gonna keep shooting.
There you
There's
go.
another environment of it, but it's a better environment for better women, and that's what I'm gonna do.
I agree.
That's it.
So listen, did I have any? We're gonna try this one more time. We're gonna try this one more time. I'm gonna see if there's any ladies in the chat that want to come up because I've seen some new faces here. We got Happy Princess, and she's coming with some strong comments.
Yeah,
and
she
we
is.
have,
Happy
Yeah,
Princess,
but
come up, please.
they're women. They're cowards.
stop it. They may be because you all are so rough.
Hey, to be honest,
Oh, Happy Princess is married, but listen, she still can come up.
yeah,
And
to be honest,
Tamika, I saw Tamika earlier. She must have left, but anyway, if we have some women that would love to come up, Mandrell, we've done enough for him tonight, so we're gonna let him go.
Excuse me.
Yeah, we have.
No, you have.
And
look how she treat me. Look how she treats me, black man. You see this?
But
and I fought for her freedoms. Her and Mr.
So
Boss.
wrong with my camera.
But we can't insult women.
Fade to black. Fade to black. I'm finna fade to black. Listen, red lipstick vibes. You definitely listen. We're gonna put the link out there for you. I think we already did. We're gonna get some women up here.
Brittany B just asked for the link too.
Brittany B, yeah, because you know what? My women are not cowards, and I don't know who said that. We're gonna fade whoever said that. Black.
Hey, that's a good marketing tool, man.
We're gonna fade that to black.
I don't know who said that.
We're gonna fade that to black. Yes, sir.
Miranda, come up. I know you're not a coward.
Whoever said that, I'm finna fade them to black. Hey, Canadian born, how are you? We finna fade that to black right there.
Men cannot insult women and then think that they're gonna come get on their page. If you talking bad about women, women are typically staying away from you. Change what you're saying.
Oh my God! Listen, you sound like Will Smith, the chicken shit stuff. I mean, take a joke.
Listen,
take a
Happy
joke.
Princess, don't unsubscribe because black men have problems. I'm a woman.
Happy Princess, we're all.
Sometimes Mandrill is off. Don't you hear me talking to him?
Telling the truth.
I'm talking to him right now. But listen, I would like for you to come up and share, though. I really would. Bethany is here too. So, women, I would love for you all to come up and share your point. With is, like I said, we're gonna fade to black those men that can't get it together. So, how about that?
Right. And the thing is, I'm not is gonna run all the ladies away before they get in. Stop it, Genesis.
Happy Princess.
I'll protect you from man.
So is somebody we having problems in the chat here? Chat, listen, we're not gonna be disrespectful, especially to our new ladies that are in the chat. You have to have some respect. She's married and she don't need no disrespect.
Here's the thing. I'm not gonna be mean to her. I don't buy it. Good grief. I'm willing to listen to the woman's perspective.
Hold on, Mandrell.
Mandrell, I need you to slow down.
Real quick, Mandrell.
Oh, Happy Princess. Okay, I've been telling. Okay, Hakeem says SB Happy Princess trolls. I've been telling y'all threat. She does this at all platforms. Happy Princess. Oh, you a troll? Come up and say hello. We enjoy trolls. Trolls are needed. They have a purpose.
In Central Park.
No, I don't think she's a troll. Or at least from
I didn't think she was, but I would love for her to come up.
Who say she's a troll?
I think Hakeem gave us that information. I don't know. I would love for her to come up.
Well,
but anyway, we're gonna move on. Book of Genesis is there. Genesis, you welcome to come on.
Come on, Book of Genesis. Stop playing.
I need some women. Big Bad Bull listen. It's time to get this back on track. Big Bad Bull just sent a super chat, so y'all know what's getting ready to happen. Thank you, Big Bad Bull, for your $2 super chat. Some money line time.
Going up, need no decline.
Hey,
Line, I'ma run it every time.
hey.
Going up, need no decline.
Yeah.
Okay, so Big Bad Bull says, "Don't cut the show short. I forgot to get me that tea on how Mandrill fumbled the opportunity with the beautiful Oh, that's right. He didn't even talk about it, did he? She was
Wow.
still comes around. Huh?
If she does,
Why
she comes
doesn't he
around.
want her? Yeah, what is wrong with Estella?
Nothing's wrong with Estella.
Okay, so you've been talking to her?
We have talked. Not about that though.
Okay.
I
Black
mean, the
man, did
whole
so Black man, what you know about this? You know anything about this?
So we were on the show one night, and he kept Google. Oh, don't turn your camera off. Come back. Oh, come back
Yeah, I
in
need
here.
to see your face, sir. I need to see your face.
Yeah,
Don't
come on
fade
back
to
in
black
here.
right now. Come on back up.
No. Leave that jerkins alone. Come on back on the camera. Listen. So, she came on the show,
Okay.
and she was on the panel, and then he was giving her the Google eyes. He was like, "Man, ooh, she is just so pretty." So what I did was I
didn't have to do all that.
I removed everybody from the panel, and I left him and her up there together.
You didn't do that.
And I said, I need you to go ahead and say to her what you're thinking. And I took everybody off. And they exchanged numbers and information, and after that, I don't know what happened after that.
Right.
Okay.
Until something of
Okay,
note
Happy
does.
Princess. Listen, Happy Princess. I never said anything about the men. I just made my opinion. I'm not trolling. I'm sure that's what she's saying. Listen, don't be. Listen, y'all, Hakeem, y'all be nice to my guest. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Allow her to have her opinion. She's a woman. We don't think like you all. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. So listen, okay, listen, Mandrea, hold on for a minute, Dr. Pennington. Mandrea, I want you to make your last point. We're gonna fade you to black.
Why?
Because I got a woman coming up.
What now?
I got another woman coming up. I don't like to have any more than 6 people on the panel. Is that Brittany that has the noise? Is that Brittany? Okay.
Yeah.
Brittany, can you hear us?
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's loud.
Okay, Mandrea, hold
loud
on.
in my area.
Okay, go ahead and say what you're going to say because I can't see you right now. But go ahead and say what you got to say.
Yeah, because
the thing
you
is,
can't see what I got going on.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Go ahead.
Can you hear me though?
Yeah, we can hear you.
And it's loud back here.
It's go ahead. It's all right.
Oh, okay. I missed what y'all was talking about. I just wanted to speak on what E-Man has said because I agree with him on the submission part. A man needing to submit to God or have something higher that he submits to. But I also believe that a woman has to submit to God first because that's who she answers to. So that would be able to keep her in line. So if you're submitting to God and she's submitting to God, both of you guys are answering to him, then that's where both of you guys are in line with each other.
Right. So how do you feel about the part where he says that she doesn't have any religious affiliation or she doesn't believe, she's not a believer? I'm like that what you said? There was no belief system at all?
I'm not speaking on Mandrill.
But that was a good idea. But he gave a good example. Mandrill gave a good example. What you're speaking of.
Yeah, but I'm just more aligned with Emmanuel right now.
Okay.
With what I'm saying as far as submission, because I have to see you submitting to something before I can submit to you, and I have to submit to God because God keeps me in line and I answer to Him. So as His daughter, that's my behavior will be conducted because of what I believe. So I'll answer to Him first, and that's what aligns me with my husband.
Right. That was good. I like that. I do the same thing actually. I do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, we always talk about the man, but we don't ever talk about the woman's submission to God.
Are you finished building the railroad?
I got a question.
Stop it.
Don't the Bible say?
I'm just clowning.
If you find the word of the Bible, that
I
says
am
man submit to God, woman submit to man, woman submit to God through men. This is probably one of the other problems also too. Women want to try to
That's not
twists
true.
certain things in the Bible and stuff like that. Yeah,
No,
like
that's not true. So, Mel, a woman's supposed to be submitted to God before she even finds the man. Like
Automatically. Yeah.
before the man comes into the picture, she should be
Well,
already.
E-Man, no, add to that, E-Man. Don't say it's wrong because it does say that in the Bible.
exactly.
No, I'm
See,
not.
this
I'm
is
not
the
disagreeing with
problem.
you.
He's
I'm
talking
not,
about.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying add it to what you're saying, though. What you're saying is great, but I'm saying add that as well because it does say that as well.
So what I'm saying is, a man and a woman should be submitted to God before they even think about entertaining a relationship.
Exactly.
Because God is going to put them on what we call one accord, right?
Mhm.
Now that they're going to have one accord, when they come together, then you're going to start aligning with structure. See, the biggest thing is people don't like structure. So for me, for example, if I tell my wife, I say, "Hey, this is what we're going on," we always can go to the Bible. And we can go to the Bible, and she can say, "Hey, this is why we send this." It's not what I thought; it's how God I interpret it, and I could be wrong by what I interpret. That's why it's more than just my opinion, because all men think they right. That the problem is we all think we right. If we don't have something that we can check ourselves on, it's just like, just submit to me because I am a man, compared to submit to me because I am a godly man, which I think is a totally different conversation.
I agree,
I'm gonna read
Emmanuel.
this right here.
I agree, Emmanuel.
So
Yeah, that's correct.
so right.
Read
So
this
that goes
passage
back to
right
something.
here.
Hold
No,
on.
that
That goes
is
back to
correct.
something Security Boss said. Security Boss said a long time ago, when back in the day there was people that who believed, and the structure of believing in God and believing in Jesus and having that foundation was more it was more of that than it is today.
Right.
Now people have opened their minds and they're saying, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I ain't following no Jesus. I ain't believing in no God. I ain't doing none of this. And now they're wondering why they're out of line. They're wondering why. And then when you say stuff like that, then they attack you. And they say, listen, well, I ain't got to believe in God to have no good woman. I ain't got to believe in God to have no foundation. I ain't got to have nothing. I ain't got to believe in no higher power. I ain't got to believe. Okay, well then that's why you're still single. That's why the women are still single at home with the My Pillow between their legs. That's why the men are still single out here, still hoeing around and throwing their seed in all these trash cans. Is because they have no foundation. And so
There's no order.
So my right, there's no order. And there's no order when things are out of order. Then how do you expect order when things are out of order? That's like going into the courtroom and the damn bailiff is the judge and the judge is the bailiff.
So, Mel, you're exactly right, but that is within marriage.
Right.
That doesn't speak of them as single people. You don't just get to be single without Christ and then become married, and then now you have the concept.
But have we noticed as the church declined, the marriage declines too?
Yeah.
Like these things are moving together, and we try to separate them. But as more and more people stop going to church, more and more people get dysfunctional and don't want to get married. And
Hey,
then
Emmanuel, there's more to it than that, though.
It
Go
is
ahead.
because what the church has done that right now, and I'm just gonna say this. I love the Lord, but I'm gonna say this: the church right now, most churches, not all, most of them have turned into this and turned into this. Women are. Even I'm telling you, bro, I'm a church.
most haven't been to most churches.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Most percentage of churches are catered to the liberal.
Hold on, Mel. I live in Dallas, Texas. I go around. I sing. I deal with ministry. I do that when I'm not on these YouTube streets. Right? I've been in the biggest churches in Dallas. I've seen it myself. I've been to Friendship West. I've been to what's the other church with the fish aquarium and it costs $10 million. I've been to all these different churches, huge churches working with their ministry department, their kids. The church is dominated by women, bro. They're dominated.
Hold on, black man. Hold on, y'all. Hold on for one moment, Stefan. I'm gonna drop the link. I would love for you to come up. I need to speak to you a little bit, but I want to say this also.
Oh yeah, iBox. There you go, Sir Hill.
Danny
Sir
G,
Hill knows what I'm talking about.
Thank you so much for your Cash App. Thank you. Listen, Stefan, I would love to talk to you. I need to find out what's going on with you. Can you please come up?
Hey, Red.
You are upset tonight for some reason, and I would like to find out. Now, Happy Princess, I did read your last comment, and you're right. You should not be going back and forth with any man. I agree with you totally. I don't really know what's going on. It's probably not my business to be in the chat. That's why I don't like being in the chat.
I know that's right.
I'd be halfway lost. I can't see all of it, and then when I'm trying to see some of it, it's like, what is going on? So I would like for you to come up and talk to us a little bit about your feelings on being married and finding a mate or whatever you have to say to this particular subject. That's where we are now. Okay, so Brittany left. Okay, she's working. Danny G. Oh, Brittany, she's there. Danny G, how you doing, sir?
I'm here.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Hey,
I would like to thank you for this
good night,
platform.
everybody. I'm gonna drop off.
Okay, Dr. Panderson, thank you so much. E-Man,
Thank
did
you.
you want to go ahead and drop off too so we can have just 6 in here? Well, that would still be 7.
No, I'll drop off so y'all can have the conversation.
All right,
All
E-Man,
right,
brother.
thank you.
All right,
Don't
Dr.
go anywhere. I want you listening in the background.
I got you.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for coming up. Go ahead, Danny. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, thank you for taking me in this platform. You guys doing a fantastic job because we do not have those conversations in the mainstream media where millions of people are turning to TV and watch ton of show, and it's sad that we're taking that on the internet, but it's good because that's supposed to give people stability. So what I think about everything you guys were talking about, let me mention 2 things about the submission thing. Most women who are not most men who are not a leader, also most women who are not submissive, are out of order. I mean, this current world we're living right now, 2022. If a man you're not masculine and lead, I mean, be the way God created you. You were created to be masculine. You were created to be feminine. Stay on your zone. Enjoy yourself. Like yourself the way you are, and naturally the way you are made. Follow that path. You're masculine. You're man. You lead, and you're a woman. You're feminine. You stay on in your true nature, your femininity. You know. So it's masculine and feminine, and masculinity, femininity. That's the way it is. So otherwise, if you go outside of that, that's why you find yourself out of order. So let me say something. The submission, I think it's something that's natural, because most women, if you like your man, you are going to submit to that man. You know, you are going to somehow submit to that man. But I agree with you, security boss, the fact that submission is a godly thing. It's a godly thing. It's like a biblical term. It's a godly thing. Because if we're really looking at it, most women who are not submissive doesn't mean, well, I'm supposed to do everything you tell me to do. I don't have a voice. I cannot talk. That's not what it means. It means you have a kindness spirit. You stay true to you love your femininity. You love your nice nature. That's why you see the men created, we are physically a little bit tough and rough. And the woman's skin and our skin are not the same. The woman's skin is soft, kind, and nice. That's what she represents. We are a little bit rough and tough. That's why we see we go to war. You know, men, we got that little aggressiveness. It's not a bad thing. It's not toxic. It's something natural, and it's there for a purpose, to help, to fight, to protect, to provide. And you know, that's how we were created naturally. I think that's what most of us get out of order, because we get out of the way the Creator designed us to be. We get out of it, follow the movement, because once you don't, if you don't have a value system, if you do not have a value system, you know what's gonna happen? Something you believe in, you stick around, and you say you like to be or not to be. You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna end up follow something that you don't like, and you're not gonna have a direction.
All right.
You're gonna follow this for that. You know what I mean? So before I leave, I think submission is something natural. It's something natural, and if you're a woman, you're not submissive like to your man, you kind of out of order, because not you operate in a masculine frame.
I agree.
Yeah, so that's what caused all those divorces. Yeah.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
So, Canadian born, did you want to add something to that? What you pointing down? What you pointing at?
I'll put into the comment you put down there. When you say some single women have a problem with submission, because some men define submission as a woman being their property, with two black women had a fake connotation. With, I totally agree, and there's a reason why I'm saying this. There are some people who are not well versed in the Bible. They take certain scripture and take it out of context. Upon doing so,
okay, so listen, somebody got to mute out there. I don't know who this is. Who's that?
Was that Danny G? You have somebody just pass by
Danny.
the car? Dennis,
I
you
don't
Oh,
know.
mute.
okay, okay, sorry.
Okay.
Danny, mute that out for us, please.
That's what I'm
Okay.
trying to say.
Realistic vibes. Can you just show us that you're you real quick? We know you're at work, but just show us.
Hey,
There you go.
Genesis.
That's
Gotcha.
what I'm. Okay,
We
sorry.
see. So
Hey, Genesis.
go ahead.
As I was trying to
Next
say,
one. Sorry about
there's
that.
some people who not well versed in the Bible. They like to take the scripture out of content and they
Right.
take certain word and they twist it. I've been seeing that for at least 3 or 4 decades. There's some guys out here that saying to mention me, you're my property, put it be under me, which did not fit in the Bible. They twist it around. And when you have guys who flaunt that type of ideology out there, it draw women away. Now, if you want to refer to the church, which Emmanuel, Iman is totally wrong. I worked in the church most of my life when I was
Thank
a
you.
kid. There's so many people don't pay attention to what's been going on. There have been what they call the great falling out. A lot of people walk away from the church. Black man is correct. A lot of the church, not all church, are pandering. But a lot of men, and I was one of them. I used to be the usher. I used to be the soundboard. I used to use multiple positions in the church, and I see this happen. So when you have real godly men seeing what's going on in the church, and you confront the minister, the pastor, the leader of the church, and he brush you off, it get to a point whereby you say, you know what, I don't need to come here anymore. And this is not happening overnight. Number one, I'm in New York City. I've been to at least 4 to 5 different churches, and I've seen that pattern going out there. Yet there was a video that been put out back in 1980 by a minister who was here during the AIDS epidemic and warned a lot of ministers do not follow the particular path. Because when you follow the particular path, how you want to run your church, not only you will run out the godly men out of the church, it will create what they call the great divide. That's where the problem comes to play. It's more common to see a church where you have 60 to 70% women, 30 to 10% men.
That's what. That's
When
what.
you see that
That's
when you
what's
see a
happening
multiple
now.
church, it says something about the leadership. The church that I've been to that doesn't have that is because the leadership is severely strong. The minister do not play game. He don't pander to nobody. He keep it straight to the middle. He's not pandering to the woman. He's not pandering to the man. When he's reading and he's ministering or he's teaching, it affects both sides. There's no favoritism. There's no shenanigan. I'm not saying they're perfect, but they keep themselves accountable. Today, church has become a joke. If I had to confront at least 4 to 5 to 7 or 10 different ministers and confront them with the scripture, I had to take the Bible, open it, and show it in his face. Do what the scripture said. Why are you doing the opposite? There's a problem. I've been
Well,
in
I'm
church
let me,
boy since I've been in church boy since I was a kid.
yeah.
CB, I
I
want to ask you
dissect
something real
ministers at the
quick.
age of 13 with the scripture. That tell you something. So
Yeah,
if I be doing this at a young age,
that does say a
and I be
lot, Black David.
catching ministers contradicting, spinning the word like they're some kind of thick tongue pimp, then we got a problem.
Exactly. And you know
CB, I
what? I'll
want to
say
ask you
this.
something
And
real
then what I
quick.
tell people: be careful with people like me. We know the scripture we study in and out on our own personal time to the point whereby when you want to try and twist the word, I'll be that person right behind your back and say, "Are you sure that what the Bible said?" And
Yes,
I'll do it
sir.
in front of your peers and your congregation
Mhm.
if I have to.
Right. But Black David, let me say
CB, I
this
want to
real
ask
quick,
you.
Mel. Real quick,
Okay.
Mel. I promise I'll let you cook. So let me say this. I actually saw a pastor in a church with 12,000 members say this. This is what he said. He said, "Women out there, how many of you tired of these men? Tired of them, tired of them." And I said, "Wait, what's going on here? You tired of these men? Raise your hand." The women, "Yes, pastor." He said, "Because how many of you want a Boaz? You need to find you a Boaz." He said, "Because all these men out here today, they ain't Boaz. They dumb ass, stupid ass, crazy ass. I mean, he went down the list. Broke ass, cheap ass. And the women, yes, yes, yes." He said, "Now all I want you to do is sow a seed into the ministry."
Oh
So
Lord. So listen, next listen,
women
realistic
were
CB, I
throwing their
want to
wallets
ask
at
you
him.
this real quick.
excuse me. Okay,
So,
man, go ahead, because we got to
yeah.
go to realistic vibe. We got to get these ladies talking. They came up, they cammed up, and they're here to talk.
Yeah,
All right,
right.
real quick though. CBN, the churches you went to, was it mostly black churches?
Yep.
I'm glad you asked me.
Yep.
95% yet black churches, either all black, mixed with Latino and Caribbean, or African on top of that.
Mhm.
You forget I was an usher. I've been growing up in the church. I've been going from day one was fully black and they started inviting white people into it. That's number one. Majority of the churches in the community, among our community, is mostly black. Either you have the church that full Haitian, you have church that mix in between with African American, African Caribbean, and African as well. With some people from different ethnic group do come in. That is so. I have been to churches that mostly white in Orlando, Florida, with a church kind of controversial, where you have deacons sleep with other church members and whipping them off for money.
Hmm.
So this
This,
happened in
this is
other
Orlando,
churches
Florida,
too.
so I know what I'm
Okay, hold on. Let's
talking
get the
about.
women in.
Yeah,
Dr.
realistic
Wait, ladies
vibe.
first.
You go ahead and give your opinion. But let me say
Yeah.
this. There was a comment there was a comment that said most men don't want women who go to church. Did I read that right?
Disagree.
I let me correct that part. I don't
Wait a
think
minute.
that.
No, don't
No,
do it.
no,
Hold
no.
that thought. Let's go to realistic vibes. We're gonna find that comment. Maybe I read it incorrectly, but I'm gonna find it. But I think that's what I read.
That's
But
what you read.
realistic vibes, what do you have to say about all this?
Can you guys hear me? I don't want to wake my client up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, panel. So much I want to say. Oh my God. Okay. So the first, the first thing I want to talk about is when the guys were talking about they can't find the quote unquote good woman.
Yeah.
Like you guys are like not looking in the places where they are. Um, you know, if you go to like intellectual places like the museum, art gallery, to like festivals, like I'm from New Orleans, baby. All kind of women at the Essence, okay? So when you go to things like that, and also when you go to networking events, like business networking events, you will always find professional women there, and half of them, sometimes a lot of them, are not married, and so that's a good place to start. Like I found my Boaz. I found my
Slow down. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Now, I know YouTube time go quick, but wait a minute. We talked to you no more than about 4 months ago, and it was, I'm not even sure I'm looking. And did I just hear you say you found him?
Yeah, well, he was there. He was there
Give us
all
a
the
little bit.
time. He was helping me do my squats and lunges at the gym.
This is good. This is good. Oh, wow. That is exciting because you had the wall up. You was like,
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but
yeah,
that's exciting.
yeah.
Give
I'm
us a little bit.
excited.
Congratulations. You know what? I must say your voice has changed.
Yeah, I'm much happier these days.
Oh, that is so sweet. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell your story.
and of course, Dad loves him, so that's always important.
Oh. So what are you saying? Are we gonna be? I ain't gonna talk no more. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell your own story.
So those are some good places to go and find these women, and I do understand what a lot of guys say. Well, they're the girls that's inside the house, because trust me, I was one of those.
Mhm.
That was
Inside the house.
inside the
Right.
house.
Right.
Just go home and go to work, and that was it. But I think Bethany put it in the chat. Go to where they shop.
Oh, shop. Okay.
Go to where they shop.
Examples.
Nordstrom's, Macy's, Target. A lot of these women goes to, like, the high end stores and stuff like that. Go to
Mhm.
the perfume counter, to the
That's a
makeup
good one.
counter.
The
Go to
grocery
the
store.
Am?
yeah, thank
Yes.
you.
Oh,
And
what about the outlet? You know how you have those premium outlets? They have like
yes.
Michael Kors and Coach,
Hmm.
all that. Yeah.
Trust me, you'll find them. They're there. Don't go to the club now. No, stay away from the club.
They're not in the club no more. I
They're
hear
not in
you
the
guys.
club
They're
no
not
more. We not doing sliding down the
today.
pole.
Listen. Ooh, not that kind of club. Anyway, you're right. Ooh, I
Um,
wasn't thinking about that.
the other thing I want to touch on is the whole thing about the church. Um, Brother David is right. Especially with our black churches, it's totally different now. It is not how when we were growing up in the church. I'm a PK, so I knew. So, and it's like all about the money. And the thing about the women, they pander to the women because we are the higher
Uh,
spenders.
there you go.
Bingo.
And y'all emotional.
we
And
spend
they tap into your emotions.
exactly. They're
Come on.
tapping to our emotions. They'll get
Yes.
us to crying, and we'll be the first one going down to the altar, putting our money on the altar.
What did I just say?
And
What did I just say?
the pastor is having sex with some of them also too.
Yeah, and then you have women that sometimes they think the pastor is their man.
Now, see, I talked about that.
Come on.
You know what? They'll be going home and they be calling the pastor's name more than they calling their husband's name.
Exactly.
That's
They would ask the pastor for permission to do things before they ask their husband.
Pastor, I was thinking about buying this car. What you think? Pastor, I was thinking about buying this house. What you think?
Yep.
That's wrong. That's wrong. That's so wrong.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of times these men divorce these types of women.
Yes.
And they divorce the church.
And they divorce the church. Exactly.
I'm listening, ladies. I'm giving you your. I'm going to give you your license to leave if you do that. If you put the pastor before your husband, I'm telling you, men, y'all gotta let her go.
Thank you.
I have literally
I told you,
seen
boss.
I've seen it.
Yeah, let
I've
her
seen
go.
it happen. I've seen it happen right before my eyes.
Mm.
And no
Guess what,
matter
Security Boss?
what, they just they, especially the women that don't have a husband, they will cling on to the pastor as their husband. And so
How
when
do
a
they do that?
man
Wow.
so when a man does come into, their life or whatever, they can't let go because they just so enthralled with the pastor.
Yes. I was just going to say it.
Wait,
Yes.
how does this work?
Security boss, have you
help me
ever heard the term preacher's daughter?
Yeah, we got one right here.
I am a
no.
preacher's
Nah, the one
daughter.
we're probably talking about
Okay.
is what she's talking about with the freaky girls.
Oh no, I've never heard that. No.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey.
The image of the
Hey.
preacher's daughter, she
Yes.
thinks she's this good girl. Nah, on the low, she's a 304.
Hey, you know what?
Oh Jesus.
No,
You know
Security
what?
boss. Let me answer that. Let me answer that. What he's saying is not wrong as well. There are some other churches that we
It
do
is.
see
Yeah, I
exactly that. And the funny about it, that pastor would not chastise his daughter, but he would chastise other people's daughter in the church, mostly in the
Well, the
congregation.
reason
And
being,
the-
though, E-Man.
Now,
I mean,
can I
not
say
E-Man.
something? Can
Yeah,
I
go
say
ahead, baby.
something?
Go ahead.
One of the reasons why they always say the preacher's kids go wild is
You ain't never there.
the strictness and the parents are never there. The parents are married to the church.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's one thing I truly thank God for my mom and dad. They didn't allow that to happen. So, child, my daddy kept me on a leash. I'm on a leash right now. So
Yeah.
And
I'm
Lilith, thank
I'm
you
still
so
on a
much.
leash
Thank
right
you so
now.
much.
So
Thank
So
you so
listen,
much.
let's take a break, and then when we come back from this quick break, we're going to Genesis. We have a super chat from We Unlock Nation. Thank you so much for your $10 super chat, and y'all know what y'all do. Y'all know what we do when we get these super chats. We got the money line song, and here it goes.
I'ma run it every time. Give me mine. Going up, need
Genesis.
You got to bust a move, Genesis.
I know you the book of Genesis, but there was life before.
Give me mine.
Yeah. Genesis, I'm gonna need you to move them shoulders.
You know what? I forgot that I was supposed to dance the money song. Forgive me.
You can do what you like, ma'am. But thank you so much, We Unlock. He says we need to get back to love as well as making love to each other.
Oh,
I agree.
Who was that? We Unlock Nation.
We Unlock Nation. I agree.
Okay. We Unlock Nation. I
That's
hear you.
good.
Okay.
We Unlock, are you married?
No, he's not.
Oh, I'm gonna have to make sure you tune into the show on Wednesday. I need you to throw your name in the hat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then
He already
make
got a
your
pick
way-
already. He already got a
wait,
pick.
and after you're done with her show, make your way to the Black Man Unfiltered Network so you can catch Unapologetic with Mandrill.
No, Mandra, I'm gonna be after you this time.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm gonna be later. I'm gonna be later on.
Yeah, she doing late. Yeah, she doing a late one.
Yeah, because we're gonna be on California time.
Oh, okay, that's right. You going
You'll
to
be
California?
before me. Yeah.
So, security boss, 1 minute, just 1 second, real quick.
And then we're gonna get Genesis'
Yeah,
opinion.
Genesis
on all
in
of
here.
this.
Yeah, absolutely. So when they were just saying about the whole church thing,
Yes.
when they say go to the church, when that person made in the comments said that you can't find a wife at the church anymore because they're attached to their pastors, a large majority of the women, when a man comes in, the pastor has already programmed in them. When a man come talk to you, before you even say yes to a date, I have to approve of him.
Wow.
It suddenly
You
became
know
a
what? Let
cult.
me
That's
let
how
me
cult.
ask you a question. I'm talking to the ladies right now. Well, I can't really talk to y'all because y'all got your head straight. But single women, if y'all out there and y'all listening to me, do y'all not like men anymore? I mean, it's just so much division.
What
I
the
really
hell?
like. I agree with you. I really like black men. So is this, I mean, why is it so difficult just to relax and just get someone that you can talk to and have conversation with, maybe go on a date or two and just to see how it goes? Why is it so stressful? What is this? Why is it so stressful, y'all? Anyway, I want the single black women to tell me that. So anyway, Genesis,
Yes.
tell me what you got to add to all this stuff that we're talking about tonight.
This church stuff just blew my mind because that hasn't been my experience. But
Happens all the time.
I did come to the black church later in life, so
You
maybe
was a
that's why.
Catholic girl, right? You went to the mass.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah,
Y'all
you
stayed in
wouldn't.
church for 15 minutes. Could nothing happen wrong in 15 minutes?
Exactly.
Right.
And it wasn't many people of color at the last church that I
Right.
attended. But,
Right.
yeah, it's not. I mean, I think that when you see that happening, I mean, some of us, a lot of us are wise. Like they should be able to see through that the message coming from the pastor isn't necessarily a good one because everybody in church ain't saved.
No, he probably sleeping with him.
Come on.
Facts.
I mean,
I hate that. I hate that. But that's true. That's been. You know what? Listen, women love power. It goes back to what we always want.
Yes, I was
Love
about to
power.
say that,
And
security boss.
if
Yep.
it's only if it's only what 3 single men in the church and pastor is one of them, or pastor may not even be single, you know that most of them. And then he's coming, he's got the word of God out of his, God is using him, and that's what most women want that. And he's saying and doing all the right things. They are like enamored. They like, oh man, can I take him home? And it happens before they know it, y'all. So we need to get some men in the church. It's wrong. It's so wrong. And there should be some deacons or somebody to tell pastor he need to get right. But so often, if the church is too small, pastor is it. But if you have a bigger church, there are people around that kind of hold them accountable. But you know what? Most of the time, something happens.
If y'all go look on my channel, I interviewed a young lady. We had a very good conversation. She was very well spoken. She loved the Lord. And right in the middle of that, she started talking about how she slept with the pastor and how the pastor slept with all the women at the church and how the church know about it. And then while we were in the middle of the interview, because it was live, the pastor called in. Somebody told him. He called in. I brought him up. She clicked off quick. She was trying to find that exit button. She said, hold on a minute, hold on. And she clicked off and he came. He said, I knew she don't leave now. Get back on this screen. You're not gonna, oh yes, you gotta go watch it. Baby,
What did you say?
Yes, ma'am. She said all the women in the church were sleeping with the pastor. He was handsome. The women love him. He worked out, nice chest, nice abs. He posts his workout pictures online, and the women love him. The women falling out over him.
Can I say something?
Yeah, hold on for realistic guys. Hold on for a minute. Let's just take another breather. We're gonna read this super chat and we're gonna do the money line. Let me tell you what it said. It came from Big Bad Bull. He said, "Let's see what Genesis is working with since she missed the last one." Then it says also, Mandrill blocked your blessings.
What do you mean?
Holding on to that T, Mandrill. What T you holding on to?
Oh, he's talking about
I don't know. No, here's the thing with that. Here's the thing with that. We're platonic. That turned into a platonic situation.
Okay.
She's just not interested. If you want to know the truth, I mean, that's
breathing like this.
It kind of is what it is.
All right. So listen, right now is the perfect time for the money line song.
So Big Bad Bull, drop another super chat. I dropped the C.
Big Bad Bull, check out Genesis up there. Yeah. Y'all are too funny for me. So, Big Bad Bull, do you accept Mandrill's explanation for the situation between him and Miss Estella?
It's the truth.
It's the truth. Hold on for a minute, Canadian born Miss Genesis. Were you done with your?
I have a lot of men in my church.
Oh, you do?
There's a lot of men. My pastor is
No,
actually
single men though. Single men.
Single men. My pastor is actually setting men up. He's doing not a virtual thing, but he is profiling single men and asking ladies, to like reach out. He's doing a little segment on each of
Singles
the
ministry?
single men, like eligible bachelors.
So he doing a I choose you like security boss. But
He does a podcast, and on his podcast he features a man, and I think he's done 2 so far, but it's something new that he's doing. But there's a lot of single men, and he actually he's harder on women. He's harder on women than he is on the men, I think.
So are the
He's a
women
married
coming
man,
out? Are the women, are they appreciating this, or what happens?
Well, they don't like the pushback because he
See?
condemns like going in the club and the random hookups and all of that stuff.
See?
He's a married man, and I
Yeah.
guess the whole pastor thing, like women being attracted to the power, and he has said that if a woman, he's a happily married man, there's no other woman for him than his wife, and if any woman approaches him, that he will call them out from the pulpit.
Oh, good. That is good. So, realistic vibes. You said you wanted to add something really quick. Go ahead and add that, girl.
The whole thing about the men, bringing the men back into church, a lot of these pastors really don't want men in the church because it's like a power struggle. He can no longer have control over the women.
He don't want accountability either.
Okay, now how do you do that? How do they stop men from how would you stop someone from coming to your church? Just have a bad message or a message that's
pandering to women, pandering to all your sermons are women based. All your sermons are uplifting for the women. You don't put men in power positions to get you out of there, because you definitely don't want, because in the black church, you will have something called elders. You definitely don't want to put a lot of black men on the elder board that can say, okay, you're unfit for this church and you're pandering to women, or we got to get you out of here. So he don't want to deal with that, but he would rather have deaconess on the board that he can control and say, I ain't never going nowhere. And he knows that he has job security with deaconess, but he knows that the deacon will hold him accountable and he won't give him that position. That's how I've been in the church since I was a kid. I know that if you want some answers, I got them for you.
You want to know why?
Another
coaches.
Another thing, I'm gonna jump down because it's time for taking her medication. A lot of times women don't really marry the men in the church, and I hate to say this because of the fear of them being undercover.
What?
Because that happens a lot.
Wait, say that again.
Wait a minute.
Undercover DL.
Under what? Oh.
Yes, that is a big fear.
You say the women don't date the
Vibe,
men?
you're gonna have to go on that one.
Wait, hold on. I just want to be clear.
I'm like so hell right now. This just took another turn.
Hold on. Let me ask this question, if I may, for clarification. You saying the women don't date the men because they're afraid the men might be on the DL?
Yes.
Yeah, that is a true thing.
Because that is a big thing.
Big thing in the black church.
Sorry to say that, that's a big thing in the church.
Yes.
That can't. Since when? That's just silly.
That way.
That's the beginning.
I remember when I was
that we live in an age now that we promote the LGBT community and everything. There's still some dudes, depending on where they live at, especially in conservative states, they're not coming out like that.
Male, even before that, when I was 12, 13, I used to hear my auntie say, girl, you know that boy is full of sugar. You know that boy is.
Oh my god. Okay, this just took a turn. Okay, we're gonna get back to
the they ain't dating because the women in the churches.
Good evening, guys. I gotta go.
We'll see you soon. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Keep us posted on that. That was nice to hear.
I want to add what Lipstick is saying also too. Another reason also too, and I hate to say this, most women in churches find church men boring. They want that excitement.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That really
that's true.
Okay, let me say this to you. Mel, let me say this. I don't know about this, but I think when you become an adult, that boring thing is so immature. Because you make your life what it needs to be. I mean, if you want to, whatever you want to do as an adult, you need to do it. So when an adult person says boring, I really, that's such an immature thing to say.
I know, but the fact is, what the opposite set says. If most
Tell
of
them
these
that.
dudes are trying to get the attraction of a female, if he's just a straight ass dude, whatever, to the woman's standards, she gonna find him boring. So
I
she always
love
goes after
Jenny.
the opposite. It is what it is. That's what's happening with a large majority of men when they trying to date. Most dudes don't want to be with multiple women like that. They want to be married also too. A large percentage of women recycle the same small percentage of men. Means that large percentage is technically waiting for the woman to come step to them, but they not being looked at. They being looked over. They be put in the friend zone. All that. So
Yeah,
Wait,
because
did he say
think
they were
about it.
waiting for the women to step to the men?
yeah, they'd want a chance. They get looked over all the time. They get put in the friend zone constantly all the time also too. And it's frustrating. You gotta hear these dudes talk. Like it's been like that all the time. Like if you ask all these females, not the ones on the panel. If you ask a lot of females, if they haven't been married up until their 40s, guarantee they tell you they turned down a lot of good men or suitable husbands in a lifetime, but slept with a small percentage of men, but over and over and over.
Here's the thing. Security boss. Here's the thing you have to come to grips with.
Over and over.
I'm
Here's
gonna
the
have
thing
to
you
come
have
to
to come to grips with.
I'm gonna come to grips with it. Okay, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Okay, what does that mean? I need you to acknowledge
The
something.
bottom line is this:
Okay.
about 90% of the women are looking for the same 10% of men. That's the fact.
That's real talk.
Yeah, I don't know if
And
I would
that's
do
what
90.
that's what we're
I don't know
dealing
if I
with.
would do 90 to 10, but I may do about 75 to 25.
Okay,
Let's
fair
we say
enough.
like a lot of women.
It's a majority of women looking for a small minority of men.
Mandrill, I can agree with that because remember I said on Black Man Show, I think it was, if we don't do something soon, the black man will be extinct because there's going to be alternative lifestyles. There's going to be prison. There's going to be so many reasons why there are no more eligible men to procreate and make black babies. Remember I said that?
You did.
So that's the way we're going, y'all. So
Let me say this because I'm not gonna mention the name of the church. I've seen it among the leadership meeting whereby the pastor will put in weak women who don't have strong foundation in leadership role, and the men in that particular group don't want to be under that woman for the reason what they saw of it, and they warned the pastor about it, and he did not listen. In another church, which my wife been to, I'm not gonna mention that name of the church either. There was a bunch of gay men in there, and women had that he was gay too.
Well, that's going around, Black Dave. That ain't nothing new. It's gay
I
pastors.
know. I'm saying this out here in New
Yeah,
York
what we
City.
talking about? Yeah.
This out here in New York City.
Yeah.
So
y'all had the biggest
for a
crime
minute.
parade on the planet.
let's say hello to Wes. Wes, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. I hadn't seen you in a while.
Yeah, well,
what's going on,
man?
man?
Finally been able to catch one of your streams, and it's really interesting conversation going on.
Oh, this was been changed from a conversation. We went down the street.
You went down the rabbit hole, then you found another rabbit hole.
Yeah, this
and then
is
there
what
was a purple squirrel somewhere.
Yeah, you're right. And then this is what happens when it gets after 10 o'clock. You know, can never tell. That's what I say. So how you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been a wonderful night. So, about the topic at hand.
There you go.
There's a reason. So I don't live too far from Atlanta.
Okay.
And I've actually learned to avoid going into Atlanta because every time I go to a mall in Atlanta, I get hit on by a black dude. I don't get it.
Really? Is that true? Wow.
I was there with a girl once, and we walked into the. It was some dude at the perfume counter. We just were walking through it to get to the good stuff, and the dude's like, "Sir, do you need some help? Do you need some help?" I'm like, I turned around. I'm like, "No, I think I'm good here." And like they don't even try to hide it. It's just really awkward.
Black
and
man,
weird.
close your mouth. Black David, close your mouth.
Yeah, the thing is.
Did you know? Was he? So it was a guy, or was it a transgender person?
It was a dude, and I'm
Okay.
I don't know how he walked in there without setting off every fire alarm. Like
aisle 5.
Gotcha. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, they are very aggressive over there in Atlanta, security boss.
Yeah. Oh no, you don't have to tell me that. But I thought for a moment that maybe it was a woman, and he just realized it was a man because that's
very
I hate to say this. who supported this movement for the trans community. It wasn't mostly us men, it was most of our own women supported that. That's why you see in the backfire so much with the sports and everything. They supported that movement so hard. It's like some men don't even want to get into marriage to try to raise their boys to be actual men. No, it's crazy. That's one of my fears of being kids in this world. I don't want to. When I meet my future wife, I will ask her, "How do you feel about the transgender movement?" I find she supported. I'm not marrying her because I want to
Listen, we're not gonna talk about people and their
Right.
options and their choices because we have nothing to do with that.
Right.
But because people, today you can do what you want to do, and we agree with them. As as long as you have your choices and you get to do what you want, male, continue to do so. And but again, I agree with what you're saying. You just don't want to you don't want somebody to think that you are willing to be with them and you're not. So I agree. I understand. So Wes, what else has interesting thing has happened to you lately? We're going back to the topic you said, and the topic was living single within your marriage and why. We talk about that single mindset. Are you married?
I haven't been for quite some time. I was married once. It was a really bad idea, and I've been raising my 2 daughters on my own ever since. So that covers the main wickets there.
That was good. You are now in custody of both girls. How old are they?
13 and 14.
Oh wow.
Bless you, man.
Yes.
Kudos.
Bless you. Bless you.
you.
So listen, I want to ask a question, and you don't have to answer it if you don't want to, of course. But does this ring true to possibly why your marriage didn't work, having single mindsets within marriage?
At first, I didn't have a single mindset. I was very much trying to build and grow together. She was less interested. I was more of a means to an end. So, and I think a lot of people, they've grown up in a very selfish mindset these days, and they're having a hard time understanding what it is to like really grow with someone and work together as a unit. And partially, I think a big part is like the huge push towards like feminism, where women now have to have a full career and men have to have a full career, and nobody can figure out who does the dishes. So,
wow.
I feel you when you say you feel like a means to an end. I feel you on that. I've experienced that myself.
Wow.
There's and there's certain. I've watched certain interviews, and there's certain women that have created the term called starter marriage, where they're viewing marriage as stepping stones. So a start a marriage, and then they go on to their better marriage. And I'm like, what is this nonsense?
I've heard of that.
Oh, wow.
I've heard women speak on that.
I have never heard of anything like that in my life.
Stepping stone marriages. Oh, security boss. You watched Harlem, right? You say you watched the first episode? Those were stepping stone women. That's what they did. They were stepping stone.
Who was married? I didn't even
remember at the beginning of Harlem when it first comes on and they talk about the tribe of women that use men as stepping stone.
Oh, yeah, okay. But that, you know what? I guess I need to go. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention because I did hear about how she was teaching them about that tribe, but I didn't hear the stepping stone part. I'm gonna have to go back and take a look at that.
They get married, they get tired of one, they get rid of him and go to the next one, and go to the next one, and go to the next one until they find which one they like, and then they get on their nerves or they get on their skin or they whatever. They dismiss him, won't go marry another one. They can marry up to 10 or 12 men in their lifetime.
Yeah, that's why you find so many women that's why you find so many women these days on their 4th and 5th marriage.
So, Wes, what's the ultimate goal in these stepping stone marriages?
I don't think women have figured that out yet. They've been sold a pack of lies. They think that's the way they're supposed to go through life. They're not trying to sit down and build something. They're like, well, we need to use men. They've been taught that men have used women throughout all of existence. So now it's their turn to use men. They're not realizing that there are bad men out there. That is true, but that is not all men.
No, not at all.
Because they're putting those glasses on, they're just viewing every man as a bad man. It's like, well, I have to take advantage of him before he takes advantage of me. Not realizing that this is a self-destructive nature. Any problem approached with hate is inherently self-destructive. You cannot cure anything with any form of hatred, but that's how they're viewing this.
Yeah.
Well, I just mentioned that a minute ago. I just talked to single women and was asking them, Can we get back to loving our men? Because I just see so, it seems like it's so much hate, or strong dislike. I'm not going to use hate, but very strong
It's not
dislike.
even that. It's not even that. It's not even that, security boss. What it is men are not seen as valuable anymore. It's not that they hate us. They're just rather more so indifferent. They're more indifferent than anything else. We're commodity or a tool. You know, we're a placeholder, something to do at this phase in their life. That's what it
Mm.
is. Like I remember I first met you. I told you, security boss, I can tell you some stories, and believe me, I can. It's not that I haven't been getting out there meeting people. I have. It's just it's fascinating what you find. The more
Yeah,
people you
because it
meet,
almost seems like a woman wouldn't want a man at all.
it seems that way in a lot of cases. Now,
Okay.
Wes is talking about. I've experienced that myself.
Brittany,
I've dated
hold
all
on
men.
a minute. Brittany B, were you saying something? Brittany.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was just gonna let Mandrell finish.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is
because I only have
where
one more
this
thing.
is
Like,
where I come in at.
yeah,
Okay.
it's
I'll
just
go
one
after
more thing I
Brittany.
had to say. It's just I was in a relationship once where when it was done, I felt like I was a fetish for her because I was, the black thing, me being black and all that, and so
Oh.
yeah. Afterwards, I was like, I mean, it was a weird feeling. I didn't like it.
So you felt used.
Yeah, I felt like I was just a fetish, and I was like, yikes, this is ooh.
Oh
You know
wow.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it like like a feeling like that. It's one thing to be used, but it's another thing to be used as that. You know
I
what I'm
got
saying?
you.
To
Yeah.
experience a black guy. You know what I mean? And I was like,
Wow.
huh, yeah.
Brittany, go ahead. I want to hear what you got to say.
So I'm just listening, and with me being 36, good lord, I think some of the things that I'm hearing, I've never said, but I may have behaved subconsciously. So I've never said I don't need a man, but what Security Boss said earlier was when you're used to being alone or doing it by yourself, I think it's just you just do it. And security, when I first started coming to YouTube, I just did what I had to do. It wasn't about who can and who can't. Just do it. Just get it done. I don't care who do it. Just do it. And so I think a lot of times, even in my marriage and one of my engagements, they looked at me like I was their mom, as far as like I had their mom tendencies because their mom were single. They were single mothers. So they looked like I was strong, and it was this, like, this is sad to say. I ain't gonna say they looked up, but it was like oh, you're so great. You remind me of my mother. And so to them, that's you think, oh, that's honorable, but not really, because with that characteristic, I end up being and doing more than I should be. So then now that's when our natures clash, because your mom had to do that because she had children. I don't. So now me doing this, I never stopped, in my, I don't want to say masculine, but I never stop doing what needs to be done, and you end up falling underneath of me instead of me falling underneath of you. And so now there's always this battle and this clash in my past relationships of structure, because nobody is playing the role naturally that they, innately need to play. We're playing roles that we had to play, and nobody stopped playing them once we got together. So I'm just listening to y'all, and I'm just reflecting. So it's just, And I wanted to also say something about going out and, being the person that goes out, the good girl or whatever. Because I was told before I worked too much and I needed to go out to be found. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. I don't want to marry nobody at the plant because that's the only people I'm seeing, but I have to get out. So, I mean, you can tell the guys they have to go where the good girls are, but the good girls have to go out. They have to go out and be hunted. I'm going to keep saying hunted because I need a man in his primal instinct for me. So, all right, and I'm done now.
So
You hear
this,
that,
Well,
Mandrill?
I
so
wanted to
Miss
say
Brit.
this.
Oh,
Oh, what I wanted to say is, you know what I'm saying? I love how you're trying to find solutions to this and everything. But you have to understand there's no one size fit all. In order to find solutions also too, you got to see the problem from all types of angles. And this is technically one of the problems that men are speaking from different type of angles and stuff like that and different stories. And it's like we understand for some people they didn't go through that problem. Okay, you're the exception of the rule, or you're the minority, but most majority of guys and women is not going to have those outcomes you have. So all the fun try to get from when we bring these facts and data and everything, yes, it sells a large percentage, but you see there's a small percentage that actually made it. So we're trying to find a way to make the large percentage the small percentage so we can grow those small percentage into larger or successful, if you understand where I'm coming from and stuff. But we have to see the angle from different angles and everything and stuff.
So, Miss Brittany, I appreciate so much that you shared that story. That is an awesome story. I can see the difference. But
That's
I'm gonna
life.
tell you, you have done an excellent job. You have recognized, you have accounted for, and now you're gonna find your husband or he's gonna find you.
Absolutely.
But I want to tell you something. I don't know if anybody
Yes,
told you
ma'am.
this before. You work hard. And I don't know what
Oh, I
position.
stopped.
Well,
I
listen,
stopped.
you don't work hard enough already to have a little nest egg for you to call somebody in, a maintenance man or something to come and change your light bulbs, your smoke detector, your oil, and whatever else. I need for you to stay in your feminine energy and continue to look cute because I see your pictures. You're doing what
Thank
you're
you.
supposed to do, but just don't forget it. Don't fall back into doing everything on your own. Pay somebody. Pay
Okay.
somebody.
And
Don't do
y'all
it.
know I'm in the car, and I should have my seatbelt on. So that's the noise y'all hear. If you,
The
yeah,
seatbelt. No. Oh, the big.
I should
Listen.
see. And this is the other thing, like being marriage minded or
Yes,
being like my safety. I should have my seatbelt on.
you should.
I should. My behavior is how I conduct myself while I'm a single person until I have a man or whatever. So I just yeah.
But guess
Since you
what?
was
You have realized though what's the issue though. You see it. So now that you see it, it's just for you just a conversion of time and space. So eventually you're gonna be all feminine and you like I said, you're gonna hire somebody, you can get the maintenance man to come over, somebody gonna come over and change these light bulbs and the smoke detector, and you're not gonna make yourself responsible for that. You're done adjusting or adapting. Now it's time for you to live in that feminine energy. And I know you're gonna have your husband. Actually, I saw your man. Don't you have a man already?
no, I don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
What happened with that?
Hey.
Look at him all in business.
We be watching.
okay. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done. But
Oh
anyway,
no, I'm
it was
single.
good, Miss Britt. That was real
I did.
good. I keep it up. Keep it up. And before long, you're gonna have your wishes and then you get to just relax.
Yes, ma'am.
It's coming. That's good. Wow. That was real good. So listen,
But
guys.
why was you look? I'm. Why was y'all talking about smoke detectors? I'm in the car.
No, I was just referencing the beat. Did I say smoke detector? I didn't know if I
Yeah.
did or not.
Mhm.
I was just
Earlier.
not necessarily. No.
You're talking about general handyman jobs.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, instead of you having to do it, I tell my husband right now I don't do nothing over my head, and this is so true. If it's anything over my head, I'm like, shit, I can't even see up there. I'm not doing that. I say it, and we just keep going. He laugh at me, and I just keep going. So that's what I'm saying. You get a concept of what you can't do, and then you allow somebody else to do it. Is was the point I was trying to make. Just that's all. But anyway, guys, listen. We've been here over 3.5 hours, well, about 3 hours and 18 minutes.
That's an Amber Alert.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
Amber Alert. Yep.
Somebody's
Man.
missing. Wow.
Me.
Every time I hear that,
No,
there's a
I'm
problem.
missing though.
You missed
Yep,
it.
9-year-old.
So what we're gonna do is
trying to
we're
be
gonna let you all give y'all final thoughts, and I'm gonna get out of here because I had a long day today. It's been crazy, but I appreciate you all so much. And listen, don't you all forget I choose you. Y'all know it's coming in April, and I got a show on Wednesday, 9:30 East, 9:30 Eastern, and we're gonna give all details on how you can become a bachelor. And again, we're gonna talk to the bachelorette, and we're gonna just give all details of how we're gonna do it. And we're gonna try to spice it up. We're gonna have some special guests, not special guests, special what do you call those people? Judges. And it's gonna be so interactive, it's gonna be funny. But anyway, it's gonna be starting in April, but on Wednesday we'll give more details, and I want all y'all to come and be a part of that and just get the buzz going, because we want it to go on and continue to go on, because too many women out there need to be found. I'm gonna say it like that. So
Well, you know what? Anything that's
It's
of
Amber
value
Alert.
is always have to.
The Amber
Anything
Alert
that's
out.
of value is always covered. So that's probably why you can't find them. You got to dig.
Ooh, I didn't think of it like that, but we're gonna put them out there a little bit now, and then men too. So, and who knows? Guess what, guys? I thought about it the other day. So we putting men out there. We got 20-1, right? So if she can only pick one, but what happens to them other 19? That might be for somebody else that's watching. So it can really,
I think
really
Mandrill gonna win.
it could really, really work out well.
Who says I'm competing?
Mandrill taken.
Oh, hold on. No, I'm not.
Whoa,
Oh, first of all,
whoa,
wait.
whoa.
Who's claiming me, Brittany?
Oh
Brittany,
wow!
I'm on
claiming
mute.
me?
I'm on mute.
We gonna
Brittany,
get
you claiming me?
we gonna put some what you call it, some bye music on that one.
He's trying to claim you, Mandrill.
Wait, hold on. Who's
Wait a
claiming me? I want to know this. We have not resolved this yet. I heard that, Brittany. All right.
So listen,
Let me find out.
That ring on that, Mandrill.
Wes, this is your first time here. Wes, this is your first time here, but thank you so much for coming up. You done came up here and taught us something in the last 15 minutes of the show. What's it called? A steady wife or study husband or whatever? Gosh, y'all.
You talking about the
Stepping husband.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow. The things that are on
Stepping stone
YouTube.
marriage.
Stepping stone marriage. Wow. Gosh. That's another obstacle, another something against marriage, y'all. So we got to put it together some kind of way. But I guess it's good to know these things so I can have a counteraction to it.
Yep, see? Told you.
He helped me out. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, chat, y'all have been outstanding tonight. I thank y'all so much for being there or being here. You could be anywhere, but thank you for being here with Security Boss and SB Nation. So again, y'all, good night. And if y'all wanted to say something, y'all got about
Good night.
Go ahead and say it.
Mandrill, put your hand down.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good evening.
Driving around in California, looking for something to make me stay. Round and round forever, searching for something I could never get replaced. Don't need you to save me, but I just really need to be saved. I'm just so sick of waiting for any luck to come my way. Yeah.
Because it is time, y'all. It is time to let you all know who the Bachelorette will be for season 1. So everyone in the chat, are y'all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here she is. Let's bring her up now. Hello, Bella.
Hey, Bella.
Oh, it's Bella.
Bella. All right, guys. Bella will be the Bachelorette for the first season of I Choose You. So listen, Bella, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, not too much, but more so about what you're looking for. We're going to get these men excited and let them find out how they fit into your idea of a bachelor.
Okay, really quickly, I don't know if you can hear me, but I gotta run. I'm at a wedding, guys. But thank you, Security Boss. I'm so excited to start this new show, to pilot this new show. I'm so honored that you would choose me. And I'm looking for a really, really great guy. He has to be very hardworking, really good character, integrity, and just all around great guy. So, yeah, that's it. But I gotta run now. So.
Can he work at Pool Line?
Bella, don't answer that. Don't answer those questions. Bye. Thank you, Bella. Bye.
Just 3 minutes, just for the soft skills. That's all I said.
All right, so guys, y'all see it. Bella is the bachelorette for the first season. So everybody knows. See, Mr. Logic, I felt like you had already peaked my game over there, but I'm glad you did.
I had no idea.